Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in tonight. We've got Valorant coming up for you. We've got a double header starting off with Valorant Green Team before going into Valorant Gold in about an hour and a half. I'm Lynette, and this is my co-host for the night.
Bryce.
We've got Point Park Esports versus Macu for this first game. Point Park is coming into this one undefeated, I believe. So they're going to look to continue that dominant stretch for this one, try and keep the momentum going.
Yep, should be a pretty good game. They've been having a great year, and hopefully they can keep it up.
Yeah, in Valorant, obviously some changes happened recently. The new agent's out. I don't believe he's allowed in play in this series yet. I think there's like a month period before they allow new agents. But interesting to think about how Meeks is going to change up the meta in a couple weeks or so.
Yeah, it seems to, change a lot, and then, the meta changes, and hopefully the teams adapt to the changes as well.
Yeah, and I haven't played Valorant in a while, but I do still follow news for the game, and from what I've seen, Meeks looks like he might shake up the meta quite a lot. Seems to be kind of just a do-it-all agent. Well, Clove is kind of like a hybrid duelist controller. Meeks is kind of a hybrid like Sentinel initiator, so he can kind of just do whatever. So I feel like a good player can get a ton of value out of that kit.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see kind of how the teams, use that and see how they kind of build their strategies around it.
Yeah, I think Sage already a kind of underutilized character in the current state of the game. Gonna be seeing even less play with Meeks coming up. But we are about to get into our first game of the night here. Out by that Clove, they did a great job like overwhelming him there. And Macu is gonna get the plant down. McFlurry able to take out Angel before trades going out for both sides. Muzzled Yeti barely not able to get that kill onto Meeks. And Macu wins this first round pretty convincingly.
Yeah, that was very quick, and Point Park is gonna have to try to step it up here if they don't want to fall behind early.
Yeah, they need to try and just do what damage they can this round, and then go into their bye round as good as they can. Try and get some momentum there.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see how they can rebound from that. Well, hopefully Point Park will figure it out.
Yep, because obviously these early rounds they can snowball really quick if you let them get like 2, 3 rounds to start. Ooh, dodges the flash, forced to teleport out though as underdog taken down to half health. They're trying to play the same angles. Colin able to get a quick pick onto rest with the classic at that range. That's huge for them. And it does look like Macu's just gonna keep pushing up B main.
Yeah, that's great for Point Park, but it looks like it's still going to be a little bit rougher as the other team's starting to push up now.
Yeah, and obviously the gun advantage for Macu. It looks like they are gonna rotate out. They do have numbers, they have range, but they do know they drew all the rotates, so they're just gonna try and maybe rotate, figure something out.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see kind of rotations happen because it usually kind of gives us an insight on the team strategy when they do it.
And we do see Maku all pushing up main. D sitting, holding this tight angle, but not able to hit. And Mantis takes him out. Gonna be rough. Both members of Point Park only on classics, I believe, whereas Maku has actual weapons, and they're gonna get the free sight here on B.
Yeah, that's not what you want to see for Point Park, and they're gonna have to really step it up from here.
Obviously, this round kind of expected to lose, seeing as it is Maku's bye round. Next round is what really determines it. If they give up too much next round, this half can just might as well be over if they don't like do something huge.
Yeah, that's the biggest issue with this game. If you do not step it up once the time comes, it can really set you back.
And Q takes that Angel before getting traded by Yeti, but the wallbang from Bueno knocked him out, and McFlurry able to finish off Yeti. Maku's gonna go up 2-0 here. Now, this is where Point Park really needs to pick up a round. If they lose here, that's all of their money gone going into Maku's bye round, and that's just like at that point, that's a very big difference to overcome.
Yep, and hopefully they can kind of assert themselves a little bit better and defend the area a little better.
And it does look like Maku gearing up to just all maybe rush A here. All 5 members set up. And Point Park not set up for only 2 members on the A side. They do get spotted by that haunt, and it looks like there are gonna be some rotates coming over pretty quick. Maku moved to take position in mid though.
Yep, and it looks like a bunch of people are pushing for the A side right now. Could be a big fight there.
Those 2 members of Maku did just get spotted in art, so they're gonna try and speed it up a bit. D able to take out Rest before getting traded by McFlurry, but McFlurry is 2 on his flank, able to get 1, but trade's going out. Angel with the double kill, actually the triple. Take that round for Point Park.
Yeah, nice work from Angel, and really just the whole team kind of got together towards the end and rallied, and they managed to turn it around.
Yep, and this is where the game gets interesting. Point Park, not all members gonna be able to buy here. And then you've got Maku on a full buy, all 5 members, Vandals, full shields.
Yeah,
Gonna be a difficult round.
we'll have to see if Point Park's prepared for it or not, but they've been doing pretty good so far, so they can kind of hold it together.
Yeah, if they lose here, their economy is just too messed up. So this round, kind of a must-win for Point Park.
And it looks like both teams are kind of staying back a little bit.
Underdog, bit in a scary position. If he pushes up there, he does have 3 people holding his angle. Bit of a trade there going out. Just a little bit of damage, nothing huge.
Yeah, and it seems like there's just a big fight for the middle right now. Neither team knows truly where they're gonna go yet.
We do see Breach just creeping up all the way on B main. Got himself in a nice angle. Might be able to catch someone, as we do see Maku. Ooh, but he gets taken out by Rest, and there looks like Macu's transitioning into a quick B hit from that. Point Park not in the right position to handle it. Underdog alone on site. It just gets run down.
And it seems like they're just not like sticking together at all. It seems like there's always someone isolated.
Macu is just out rotating them at the moment. Yeti walks up, able to get one lucky timing on the swing, but Mantis trades him out. Gonna be a 2v4 with the post plant.
Yeah, and it looks like they're.
Ooh, and D is spotted
Oh,
in a rough spot, just pinned from all sides.
yeah, it's not looking great for Point Park, and they might want to just pull back from here.
Yeah, at this point, it might be better to save. Able to get one before getting traded out. Not what you want. Not only do they lose the round, but they don't do all that much damage to the economy either.
Yeah, that was really not what Point Park wanted from there, and if they don't step it up from here, they're gonna get out. They're kind of gonna get outmatched.
Yeah, Macu in a very solid position to continue this half. Point Park, gonna be a tough spot to fight back from already.
But it looks like we're about to start the next round. Let's see. We'll see if Point Park can kind of get it together. And it looks like they're immediately rushing A side.
Angel did alt try and get some intel, maybe a trade. Was able to do or get the information, convince them to back up, but that was all the value he got out of that Phoenix alt. Now we've got all 5 members of Macu pushing up in the site. Yeti splashed on the angle, has to teleport out. And they just run him down. D able to get a nice trade for it though. And that res is going to come out immediately, undoing the work.
Yeah, it's not good for Point Park, and
The
they're
Cypher ult
starting
comes
to.
down. Macu's just trying to run them down now.
It looks like they're starting to get outmatched again. If they don't step it up, this is gonna be a fast one.
And Macu does back off, trying to rotate over to B site. Point Park looked unprepared. They're rotating over, not going to have super good positioning, but they are going to get on the site in time at the very least.
Look, it looks like Colin's fighting them all alone right now.
And he only has a classic, so kind of a rough spot.
Oh,
Able to get a nice kill onto the Phoenix, but he wasn't the ultimate. Nice stun, able to get some damage, but not enough to get the kill. Again, with only a classic, that's just such a rough spot. A lot of damage has come out, but the Sage, rezzed, and healed. Macu gonna get that plant down.
yeah, it's not looking great.
And Mantis takes out Underdog 2v5 for Point Park. They do get one. They get two at least, but D 1v3 finds a gun on the floor, gets damage, not able to finish the kill, and they do get it. If D clutches it, it is an ace.
Yeah, but that she's got limited time now as the spike's going off.
Walks up, gets spotted on that one-way smoke, and it looks like it just might be out of time. Has to back up and save. Was a valiant effort, just too little too late for that round.
Yeah, hopefully that can kind of help them rally for the next round, though. At least somebody got away with a better weapon this time. Maybe that'll help kind of stabilize their economy a little bit.
It should, but they're in the position where every round they lose messes up their economy so much, and it does look like Point Park is going to go ahead and call a timeout. I think that really they just need to like rotate a bit quicker. They keep getting caught with only one person on site. That person goes down, and then Macu has numbers to play the site, play the post plant. I think Point Park just needs to be a bit quicker with those rotates, play more as a group instead of taking these like 1v2, 1v3 fights.
Yeah, I've noticed that as well. Every time that the other team rotates, they just kind of stick back to where they are, and then someone gets isolated, and then they're just fighting from behind.
Yeah, they've just not been able to play numbers at all this game. Been just a difficult one so far. Obviously, still winnable. There's still another half. There's still a handful of rounds left in the half. We'll see what Point Park does, trying to come out of this timeout, change things up.
Yeah, hopefully they kind of discussed it a little bit, and they're gonna come back with better strategy.
Yep, and that timeout's gonna be wrapping up. heading into round 6.
Yep. Hopefully we'll see what happens with this round, and hopefully we'll see a little bit more rotation from Point Park.
Yeah, and Point Park's economy in a bit of a difficult spot. Looks like they're electing to light buy here. Probably a smart choice so they aren't putting all of their credits into this one in case they lose. Ooh, but it does look like they had the read wrong. They stacked mid trying to take a fight, only for Macu to 5-man just rush A.
Yeah, and that's not what you want when you're in this situation. They need to start pushing better.
Yeah, now Point Park just gonna be forced onto this retake 5v5, but they'd have big gun disadvantage. A big fade ult comes out, but it's gonna be a 2-for-1 trade in the favor of Macu. Colin able to find one, stabilize this, make it a 3v3, but Point Park on limited time.
Yeah,
They do have decent positioning, but that Sage Wall doing a great job of splitting this site. And he walks up, catches the
nice.
Sage coming out, able to get the spike. But yet he walks in and he
Oh,
doesn't. He tries to stick the spike, which is what's not the right choice. Underdog finds him. It's a 1v1. Almost no time left, and just not enough. Able to has to get out there, and he dies to the spike. Unfortunate.
well, it was definitely a better effort than we've been seeing, and hopefully they can kind of bring that back to the next
I
one.
think they just messed up having nobody on A. They just had the wrong read.
Yeah, and that goes back to what we've been saying. They need to rotate better, and they need to be there when the other team's there.
Yeah, they've just never been at the site at the right time, it feels like. Now,
Yeah,
Macu, their economy is incredibly strong. They can afford whatever. Um, Point Park, able to afford a good buy this round, but if they lose, they're back on having to save.
yeah,
Angel barely misses timing wise seeing him in mid, but Yeti able to find a quick pick. Now Point Park has numbers. If they can just play with those numbers, they should be in a good spot for this one.
yeah. That's something we haven't seen much from them in this game, so hopefully that will kind of help them a little bit.
And it does look like they're trying to do this. With 2 of them posted up in art right now.
Yep.
Maku
And
slowly creeping over to that B side. Point Park's gonna need to rotate over.
once again, they only have one person there, which is not good.
And with that slow push, they don't hear them, so they're slow on the rotate. Point Park is gonna be late again.
And that's been the same issue they've been having all game, and they need to fix it.
It is a quick 1-for-1 trade, so Point Park does have numbers for this retake. But again, just giving up the site without that much of a fight, only a one-person job holding it. They need more people there, it feels like. They're playing too heavily towards mid and not enough towards these sides.
Yeah, which is not the best move because they're at the end of the day, if they can't stop from planning, they're going to have a tough time in this fight.
Ooh, and 3 players walk up and... Oh my god, they body block each other and give over 3 quick kills, and D just gets taken out. That was, quite frankly, a horrific misplay by Point Park. They had 3 players on the same angle, and then body blocked each other when the flash came out.
Yeah, the timing there wasn't very good, and now their economy is very outmatched.
Yeah, this round already feeling like a bit of a lost cause for Point Park. If they want to win this game, they're going to have to come out strong on the attacking side.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to cut them back from here. It's still possible, but they're not in a good place right now.
And it looks like this time Maku stacking up to quickly come out through through mid into B link. They force Underdog off the angle. He's playing a dangerous game with that positioning, and McFlurry takes him out, and then Angel immediately goes down on the other side of mid. Colin goes 1-for-1, gonna leave Point Park in a 2v4, but Clove and ooh, that huge Meeks heal, healing both of them back up almost to full. That's what I was talking about. Meeks is just... I think Meeks is overtuned. That heal is insane.
Yeah, it's actually insane to see that, and that's not good for Point Park.
Macu running a very heavy, like, sustain comp almost, because Clove can self-heal, Sage can heal, Meeks can heal, Phoenix can self-heal. They have so much healing. So you really need to kill. You can't just do damage and then come back later. You just need to get those picks.
Yeah, and if you don't, they're gonna eventually just beat you out with the trigger damage.
Oh, and yet he teleports in and just gets gunned down. It's gonna be D in a 1v3, which it feels like we've seen that exact same story so many times this game.
Yeah, now we're 7-1. It's not looking great for Point Park.
They need to come out strong into this next half. All they can really do now is just try and, like, maybe get 8-3 at the half, maybe get, like, 8-2. Just try and get one or two more rounds, really.
Yeah, that's probably what they want to do for sure. Because if they don't do that, they're gonna really struggle going into the
Yeah,
half.
you never want to go in when it's like one or two rounds off ending the game. That's just such a difficult position to come back from because there's no room for air.
And it looks like once again they're grouping up the rush A. We'll see
Point
what
Park
Point
does
Park.
have people on the site. Util coming out. Stage wall is off. Ooh, and Angel able to get the one-for-one trade. D is in a rough spot, but they barely don't see him. But Yeti gets sprayed through the smoke, and D doesn't walk up for it.
That was
And
probably the right call from D, but it's gonna be rough to come back from here.
gets crouch spammed on by Rest. Underdog trying to no scope with the chain brawl, just not what you want to be doing. And it's gonna be a 1v3 for Colin. We'll see what he can do, but it's a difficult spot. He gets sprayed through the smoke by that Odin.
And now we're 8-1. It's not looking great for Point Park. They really need to step it up here. It's gonna be a really tough half.
All they can really do, just try not to let these next rounds be losses. You need one or two more rounds in the half. If it's like 8-11 at not 8, 1-11 at the half, that is borderline impossible to win it next half. They need to get something on the board.
Yeah, and hopefully they'll kind of step it up in this round and kind of hold it together a little more.
And it does look like they do have the right read with members. Colin able to take out one, but the res comes out immediately again. Point Park in a bit of a difficult spot. Members are rotating over quickly though. Yeti able to take out Rest for the second time this round. They don't have another res. And it looks like Macu is gonna try and back off here.
Yeah, but I'm worried about is if they decide to rotate and then Point Park ain't prepared, because that's been the story of the whole match.
Right now, just members from both sides holding B long.
Yeah,
Seems like Macu's just waiting for Point Park to do something.
it looks like we have a standoff, which is good for Point Park because they're not the ones who need to be rushing right now. They can
The
just hold
fake
back.
rotate did draw Yeti away from B site though. And now it looks like they're gonna go for the re-hit. It's a 3v4 on site. Yeti coming over quickly. And then we see that fade D on the flank. Ooh, Angel and Colin able to find four.
Nice
And then a
work.
4K for Colin. And Point Park able to put another round on the board. That's what you need here. Try and get one or two more this half. And that's the best possible way you can go into the next half.
Yeah, at this point, every game matters, and if they can just keep themselves from falling back behind even more, they might just be able to make a comeback after half.
A great round from Colin there. Able to get that 4K. Has the Odin now. Point Park's economy not in a terrible spot anymore. But obviously, getting to the end of the half doesn't matter as much.
Yep, and we'll see how it goes in this
And it's
round.
going to be a 5-man hit on the A side for them. Angel able to go 1-for-1 with the Phoenix Salt. Exactly what you want there. Gives himself numbers 4-3.
Yeah, that was
And it's
a
going to be a
nice move.
4v5. All four members still on A site. But Point Park with the rotate.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here, but that's a big deal for Point Park.
And they do get spotted. Util is coming out. That was a Meek's ult there. The Phoenix Molly does find one. Ooh, an
Oh,
Angel in a perfect spot. Gets a 4K. Clove does pop ult to res themselves. Ooh, and he just gets timinged by the Clove, which is unfortunate. Clove now back in the round fully, and he chokes the ace.
it's still a 3-on-2 there, so we'll see if they can kind of. Oh,
But the flank from that Clove. Underdog, though, on this flank with Chamber in a great spot. Colin finds McFlurry. Ooh, and
nice.
then he finds the other Underdog there. Kind of just stood there. I don't know what he was thinking. Probably should have walked up a bit faster to help, just in case. But they won the round, so it doesn't matter. And now, 3-8. They're getting a little bit of momentum here at the end of the half. Their economy is in a good spot now. Not everybody being able to full buy on Macu's side.
Yeah, this is a huge turnaround for Point Park, and if they can keep this up, they can kind of get out of here with a couple wins now.
Yeah, the plan now, win this round, carry that momentum into the next half, try and make the comeback.
And that's one of the coolest parts about Valorant. You might struggle early, but if you can start getting some wins, the momentum will turn around for you.
It truly is just a game of momentum.
Looks like it looks like there was a nice trade from Underdog.
They go 1-for-1 in art. And the rest of the team is spotted, minus that Clove who's lurking up A. Point Park in a bit of a difficult spot, though, if that Clove walks up fast. Best comes out with that Phoenix ult, catches D blind in the smoke. Storms up, gets caught by Angel, but that was only the Phoenix ult. They do spot Angel. Point Park is here. Angel takes out Rest the second time before getting taken out by Mantis.
And it seems like it's going to be a 3-on-2 as the spike is now planted.
Yeti finds the pick before getting taken out quickly, though.
And now
And it's a close fight.
can Colin Kendall pull it together.
That Clove is pretty weak, but you gotta make a play quickly before Sage Heal comes up again. Ooh, but those smokes. Ooh, just unfortunate. Gets caught in the crossfire. But 9-3 going into the half. Some would say that is the single best way you can go in.
Yeah,
Some of us do believe in the 9-3 curse. Let's see if it holds true today.
well, we'll see what Point Park can pull off, and hopefully they can turn it around. And now Point Park on the attack. We'll see what their plan is here. Yeah, Point Park seems to be gathering up around the B side, so there's probably gonna be a big push over there early as we get into this half.
Yeah, Point Park, just the goal here is win pistol round. Try and get some momentum. You can't really give up these early rounds when Macu is so close to winning.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't know if they can give up much rounds at all because eventually it's gonna get to a point where it's just match point.
Now we see Point Park bit spread out, but 3 members pushed up on this site. The other 2 coming over from B-Link. Solid positioning here, but that flank gonna pinch Yeti. Yeti goes 1-for-1 there, but Colin goes down shortly after, which is unfortunate. Point Park now in a tough spot.
And it just seems like Macu has their number, and they've had their number since like the beginning here. I don't know how Point Park can kind of turn this around. And it looks like there's a big back off now from Point Park. They don't want to rush too much.
But they are down numbers. They need to get a pick here. Try and even things up.
Yeah, it's been a rough game so far, and if they can't turn it around from here, it's not gonna look good. Although they are starting to rotate to A side, and there doesn't seem to be too much resistance there.
It is just Meeks on backside. If they can quickly push up and get a quick pick, they might be able to turn things around. Ooh, but checking the wrong angle at the wrong time. They get the plant down, but all of Macu knows where they are. They're low health, and they're down numbers.
Yeah, this isn't great for Point Park.
D able to find one, but they both go down shortly after. Macu gonna take that pistol round. And now
And
Macu's gonna be on a buy round. Point Park's in a bad spot here.
yeah, it's not looking too great for Point Park. And if they can't turn it around soon, well, it's gonna be over in the next couple rounds.
Yeah, they're really running out of time to go on a run here.
Yeah, there's just too much momentum and they're not breaking it at all, so it's not gonna end well if they can't turn it around soon. And next round's about to begin, and looks like they're kind of pushing up towards A early. And here we go. Big fight about to happen in middle.
Ooh, Rest
Looks like
catches
that
Colin
takes
on
one
that
of them
off
out.
angle.
Not great for Point Park, but that's not over yet.
Ooh, but Rest does find the second pick in mid. Gonna be a 3v5 here, and they do know exactly where Point Park is.
Yeah, that's been just the story of this fight, of this match so far. Every round, it seems like Macu just has their number and ends up having more people.
Ooh, and somehow Mick Blurred able to come out with two there. Point Park should not have let that happen.
Yeah, now it's 1v2 and D's pretty low on health as well.
That just, those whiffs there probably gonna cost them the round. Rest picks up the triple kill. Macu only needs 2 more rounds. This is Point Park's last chance, pretty much.
Yeah, it's not looking great for Point Park, and it really just comes down to the numbers game. Every round, it feels like they end up behind, and then they never manage to come back from it. And that's just been the story of the rounds, and the momentum just keeps killing them. And now they're pushing up towards A side again. We'll see if they can kind of make something happen here.
In Point Park, all 5 on A site. Just need to get something here. Let's see if they realize the Sage is on the wall. Doesn't look like they do. They storm out. Sage able to find 2, but Point Park able to get 2-for-2 trade. Not a terrible position. Ooh.
The spike's planted.
But Rest does find Colin, and Bueno does find Yeti. So it's gonna be D alone in a 1v3. Again, a quick double kill. The fade ult comes out, but D is basically out of health. Ooh, and the timing.
That was one of the closest rounds I think Point Park's had, but they couldn't get it done.
The timing there was just heartbreaking.
Yeah, D almost had it, but they just couldn't pull it off, and now we're at match point. Yeah, this has not been the greatest game for Point Park, and at this point, I think the economy might just be the end of it. They got a long way to go to come back, and Macu just needs one more to win. And again, they're just pushing straight up for A again.
I mean, they don't really have much choice. They need to play together on this gun disadvantage here. Most of them light shield with rifles, in some, or like an SMG with heavy shield.
And it looks like Macu's going with the same strategy they did last time, but it looks like Point Park was ready for it this time. Or
And they walk
not.
out in the Sage in the exact same spot as last round, and Point Park doesn't clear it. At this point, you've just kind of got to wonder what they're doing.
Yeah, you have to wonder if they're at all learning from the rounds before, because it's been the same issue every single round.
At
And
what point do you start
either-
adapting?
yeah, if they can't adapt, then this is just not gonna happen. It looks like they decided to rotate the B side, but I don't know. I don't know if there's much they can do here.
They are on a gun disadvantage. They do get good position and reaches in a nice flank. Underdog goes down in a bad gunfight there. Colin goes 1-for-1. Point Park is up numbers, but they've got to see what they can do. They've had situations like this And just like that, Yeti is caught on a bad timing again. D goes down, gets one, but Angel goes down, and it's D with low health against the full health McFlurry, and
And there
D
you
is
go.
gonna go down. Macu is gonna take game one.
Yeah, it was not the greatest work by Point Park, and they just didn't adapt at all. The momentum kept going up and up, and they just could not. They could not adapt to it.
We'll see if they can change things up for game two. Try and get something going. Try and change things up. We'll see what they can do.
Yeah, it's unfortunate to see how the last round went, but hopefully they can kind of come back from it.
Yep, but I think we are gonna go to a quick break here. We'll be back shortly with game two of this series for y'all. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We're about to get into game two here in just a couple moments, which is going to be on Bind for this one. Point Park does like Bind. I'm not sure if it is their For trips on flank, Point Park has nothing like that. They're gonna constantly need someone to be watching flank, which obviously is something you can deal with. We'll see what Point Park does to mitigate it.
Yeah, well, it's definitely going to be an interesting strategy situation. I'm interested to see kind of how they adapt to it.
In Point Park, again, starting off on defense, Macu looks like they're gearing up to go B. Might be trying to split going through B long and through market.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how both teams will kind of play it early. And it does seem like Point Park's heavily defending A side, which
Just unlucky with the read to
odd.
start the game. They do get spotted by that Sky Flash, so Point Park does know. Colin gets a quick pick, and they do look like they might be starting to rotate as they did get that info. Ooh, but unfortunate timing. He peeked up a little bit too quickly.
Yeah, now Yeti's just gotta defend on his own until they can get some help.
Point Park is rotating over pretty quickly. Yeti taking up a nice off angle in Garden there. The flash comes out at perfect timing, but they don't capitalize on it. D able to find one. D able to find a second with huge picks there. Able to find a third. D and Yeti on the flank. That was a great round from Point Park.
Yeah, that was very good from Point Park, and that's exactly what we need to see more of from them. If they can keep that up, they're going to be able to take this one away.
And already we are seeing some differences from the last one. We saw how quickly they rotated over once they had the info. They played numbers, like they played together. That's what was missing last time. If they can keep this up, they're in a great spot already. Now they need to win this bye round and try and get that momentum.
Yeah, it's a sad.
For call in that round. Just a very solid round from Point Park. Obviously, it was a save round, so we'll see if they can do the same on their bonus and on their next bye round. But off to a great start for this one.
Yeah, this one's feeling a lot different than last one, and hopefully they can keep that up. Keep it up.
Now we do see full buys coming out from a bunch of members on Macu, not all of them. Point Park is going to be bonusing here since they did win their last one. What they need to do here, just try and get as many picks as possible. They do mess up the Sky Flash. It doesn't spot anyone, but Colin, able to capitalize anyways, finds the pick on Karu.
Yeah, that was a great start from Colin, and already Point Park has the advantage.
Now we do see a bit of a spread out formation here for Macu right now. Members creeping up B, members creeping up B long. And that one Meeks does get spotted over on A-Link.
Yeah, and it looks like they're starting to all rotate towards B now.
Point Park does only have two members here. We'll see if they can hold it long enough and what they can make happen. Ooh, and Colin finds another. And Muzzled Yeti sprays through the smoke, able to take out McFlurry. Great play there from the two of them.
Yeah, now it's 5-on-2. Big place for Point Park.
Underdog trapped in this. Spots him, but ooh.
Nice.
I thought Underdog was dead there with that knife. Still out, but able to swap. Colin gets domed by Bueno, but it's going to be the low health Bueno alone. And Muzzled Yeti runs him down. Point Park off to a commanding lead in this one.
Yeah, that was a nice round for Point Park, and if they can just keep that up, they're gonna start outmatching Macu on economy.
And that one is going to be a big hit to Macu's economy. Point Park now in a very solid position. They can afford to buy this one. They can afford to buy next. Macu can't afford to full buy here. Gonna be forced to save for most of them, other than Mantis and Rest.
Yep, and it looks like they're changing up the strategy and going A this time. A little bit different than what they were doing last time.
But it does look like Point Park has the read. They set up pretty well for this. Rest and ooh, they storm into Lamps only to get taken out by Underdog. Point Park now has numbers, and then holding this tight angle with a Judge, and D catches Rest.
Yeah, it just looks like that. It looks like Point Park is. Oh,
And
that was
Terry with
not
a
great
nice
though.
flank there, but Angel is able to get the trade. Gonna
Point
be a
Park still
3-2 in
has the
Point Park's
lead.
favor. They do know where everyone is. Both teams know exactly where they are. The Phoenix art is gonna come out. Ooh, unfortunate, not able to get the pick there. Keeps going, able to get damage, not able to finish the kill. Colin
There you
does
go.
find Mantis though. And Angel, just unfortunate timing with the flash. But Point Park,
It looks like they defused the spike while that was happening. It was a nice distraction. And Point Park takes up 4-0. And we get into the next round here. The economy is very heavy in favor of Point Park now. And if they can
yeah,
just keep
Point
it
Park,
up.
just great position coming into this one. Whatever they discussed in the break between these two games, it worked. Now they just need to keep this up, keep this momentum going, try and steamroll them this game.
Yep. And here we go. Once again pushing for A side. We'll
Looks like
see
they are
what
going
that
to try
is.
and go through showers this time. Point Park has members there, though. They might be trying to catch them. Ooh, but Angel gets spotted. They
Ooh.
do go 2 for 1. Just unfortunate. They didn't think anyone would be right outside showers like that.
Yeah, it was a great play by Macu, and Point Park is playing from behind
And
here.
the res does come out. Colin is able to find one, keep it a 4v3, but immediately gets taken out by Bueno. Gonna be a 2v4 in Macu's favor here.
Yeah, it's not looking. Oh, nice look from Yeti though.
Nice shots. D finds one.
And now it's back to 2-on-2 as the spike is planted.
Macu does have decent post plant spots, but Point Park knows exactly where both of them are.
Well, we'll see if they use that to their advantage.
The flash comes out.
Oh,
Ooh, but the shots from Flurry and just not able to find Mantis. Mantis able to save that round, and it's gonna be Macu's first win. Point Park still in a good spot. Now it's just gonna be the first equal round we've had in a while.
yep, and it looks like Macu's spreading up a little bit here. Well, we'll see what that does. We'll see what they do with that this time. And Point Park is doing pretty well, but this one will be even, so both sides need to really put their all into this one. And we're off, and it looks like they all decide to go for A again. And
Bit slower here. Macu creeping up. That Phoenix Molly gonna get a little bit of damage onto that Cypher. Rest is able to find Underdog in U-Haul though.
it looks like there's a big fight now going on in A side.
Colin is on the flank, gonna draw away some attention, but McFlurry does find D.
And there goes down the spike.
Colin does find one on the flank, but gets traded out. Gonna be a 2v4. Yeti finds one, gets traded out though. And it's gonna be Angel in a 1v3. Not able to do anything there. Macu just had the numbers. And now, Macu might be trying to shake up things up here. Able to get a few rounds under their belt.
Yeah, it was a very good game, but it's been a very good game by both sides. Neither one really trying to give it up. And now Macu's starting to pull back on their side.
Now it looks like Macu trying to go for a B hit again.
And here we go. The round's beginning. And immediately they're all pushing up for B side. And once again, we're just a little bit slow to start. As both sides are kind of trying to figure out how they want to approach this round. And now the big fight's happening on B side.
Underdog in a very risky spot here. Angel gets taken out. And Underdog not able to find one. Colin finds one, goes down immediately. The Clovalt comes out. Ooh, D with the nice shot. Oh my god. The Bucky. The Bucky nerfs saved them there.
Yep, and it looks like the attackers win yet again. And right now, it's not looking great for Point
The
Park.
game state has been stabilized. Now it's basically whoever's game. Obviously, Point Park still has a tiny bit of a lead. But they are going to be down weapons here, so we'll see what they can make happen.
Yep, and it looks like Macu's gonna push for A side this time. We'll see how they do that this round.
It does look like they do get spotted by that Sky Dog. Might draw over a rotate from Point Park. Ooh, but they are coming out aggressive with the fast hit.
Like the fighting over A side begun.
But they slowed things down enough to draw over rotates. Angel does find one with that Deagle. Is he able to find another? The spike is planted. Ooh, an Underdog finds another. Colin does go down, but D goes 1 for 1. And now it's going to be Point Park with numbers here. They just need to push up, take that spike.
Yep, and this is exactly what they need to do. They need to find a way to get the numbers game and then just use that to their advantage.
And they find Mantis, but with the gun disadvantage, do go down. But they clean it up nicely. And Point Park gonna get their win back.
Yep, and there we go. Up to 5-3 now. Point Park is gonna have to keep the momentum going forward.
This game has been much closer. Point Park putting on a strong showing here early in this one.
Yeah, it's been pretty interesting to see both teams kind of evenly matched every round. It seems to swing a lot between these two teams now, which is it's a lot better than what we saw originally.
Now both sides pretty even economy-wise. D electing to save this one just because that was the gun they survived with last round. The Sky Ult does come out just to get that information real quick, so they're going to know exactly what Macu is doing here.
And it looks like they're pushing directly up the B side.
Yep, coming up B long with 3 members, the other 2 holding back a little bit. Ooh, and the Omen TPs into a nice off angle. I love playing there, but he does back off. Not willing to risk it.
Yep, and it looks like the fight for B side continues as both teams are kind of going back and forth here.
The Viper wall does come up, blocking off this entrance. We'll see what they decide to do. The Meeks ult comes out, I believe that was. But they're going to quickly TP over and try and rush A. While Point Park has all of those members over on that side. It's a good thing this Viper hovered over here. D able to catch McFlurry, Angel able to find Bueno. And now Point Park is going to take up a good position. D finds another. Point Park in a great position to close out this round. They just need to play tight, play together. Angel, oh my god, the whiff, but he is able to find the kill with those last couple bullets. Mantis alone in a 1v4 finds one before going down.
It does seem like Point Park anticipated the rotation and were prepared for it that time.
They did a great job reacting to that quick rotation. Closed out that round very nicely.
And I think momentum is now back on Point Park's side. If they can just hold on to that, they can get out of here soon. And it looks like Macu's pushing back up for A side again. We'll see how Point Park prepares for that. The economy seems to be
Heavily in Point Park's
yeah
favor right
pretty
now.
heavily in Point Park's favor.
If they could win this round, they'll be in a great spot. They're already in a good spot, but that's how you snowball a game. Win these rounds, crush Macu's hopes of rebuilding their economy.
That seems to be the main strategy every round, and that seems to be
Angel
what they're
finds a
going for.
quick pick, and those three members in showers do get spotted. So Point Park gonna quickly rotate over. All four members of Macu pinned down in showers with all members of Point Park nearby.
And that seems to be something they've been doing a little bit better this time around. They seem to be able to track them a lot better and pin them down when they have to.
Yeah, they've been doing a great job of reacting. Last game, that was the big issue. Point Park was so slow in responding to these rotates, and now Point Park just always rotates perfectly. It's felt like this game. They're always where they need to be.
Yeah, and that's been a huge game changer in how they've been playing.
Ooh, and the res comes out, and Point Park gonna storm up. Angel not able to find one. Let's see if he can escape here. Ooh, D gets taken out. Point Park is down numbers now. Angel taking a risky gunfight. Able to find two before going out. Well played by Angel. Evens things up for Point Park.
With the spike down, it's a 3-on-3. It could go either way from here.
Point Park does have that breach all if they choose to use it. Ooh, and they use... Ooh, that was
Nice
a
work.
perfect piece of breach util there. Forces him off the angle, and then they gun him down while he runs. Good, well played by Point Park to close that round out.
And now the momentum's heavily in Point Park's favor, as they are definitely winning economy-wise now. And for Macu, they really need to step it up in this next round, or they're gonna fall heavily behind. It looks like Matthew's preparing to go for A side this time. We'll see if that helps them or not. But yeah, the economy is very heavily on the side of Point Park now.
Yeah, we'll see if they can close out this half just as strongly, and then try. Goal is to keep that going, force a game 3, and then do this exact same thing in game 3.
Yep. And it looks like they're kind of slow this time. They're taking a lot more caution than they did before.
Does look like Macu has all 5 members over on B site, slowly creeping up. Able to avoid getting spotted by that Skydog, so Point Park doesn't really have any intel, but they do realize it's too quiet over on A and start rotating over. And now they do know where they are. They have the read. Colin able to shut down that Phoenix ult.
Oh, that was a great job from Colin. And we'll see how it goes from there.
And it looks like they're going to quickly rotate over to A again. Point Park rushing back over to meet them.
And once again, Point Park is reacting really quickly to it.
And they got exactly where they need to be. But the plan is going to come down with the help of that Sage Wall. The breach ult comes out, though, and Yeti able to find Bueno over on that B site. Colin finds Karu. Point Park just gunning down these members of Macu.
And that's been the main thing. They keep reacting just fast enough, and then they just even if the other team gets the plant down,
They just
can't
overwhelm
stop
them.
Yeah, and that seems to be what keeps happening. They're letting Macu get the plant down, but they're always gonna be there reacting right away.
Exactly. In a solid round. Point Park with a commanding lead as we go into the last round of the half.
And it looks like Macu's gonna be pushing for A side. And yeah, for Point Park, they probably just want to walk out of this one with this win, so they can be just a bit closer going into half. And here we go, into the final round of this half, and they're pushing straight up the A side. Bit slow early. It looks like all 5 members of Macu are all pushing together.
Taking some space in sight, they get the plant down pretty quickly. No casualties yet on either side. Point Park has all 5 members here, though. Let's see what they can do. The Viper came out, but he gets taken out by Bueno. Yeti swings into 3, finds 2.
Nice work by Yeti, and that evens things up now.
3v3, Point Park in a good spot, but Colin gets 1. Ooh, but they just get caught off guard with those off angles. And it's going to be a 1v3. If he can just wait out this Clovalt. Ooh, but just gets sprayed down. And Point Park loses that last round. But they go into the second half with a good lead. They just need a couple more rounds and they can close things out.
Yeah, it was still a pretty great half for Point Park, even with how it ended. And now they could just focus in on the second half. They're on the attack. They only need, I believe, 5 more, and they can win this. And it seems like they are all kind of pushing middle early, which is a very interesting strategy from Point Park.
We'll see what they can do here. The goal for them, just win this round, end this game as quick as possible.
Yep, and off.
They come out. They are split here. 2 members over in B main, 3 members over on A site. It does look like they're gonna rotate over. That Skydog does just miss those cipher trips. Unfortunate. Macu does know the Sage coming over on the flank. That's what we talked about. Point Park doesn't have anything to watch their flank. So they're just going to run into Mantis. But the quick reaction from Yeti shuts her down.
Yep, and that was a big deal for Point Park, as now they have the numbers advantage.
They do have 4 members. It's going to be a 4v4 on A site with that breach coming over for the flank. Vest able to find Angel real quick. Ooh, Point Park just gets picked apart on that one. And it's going to be Yeti, or not Yeti, Colin in a 1v4. We'll see what he can do, but not a great spot.
Yeah, we'll see what Colin's capable of in this situation, but it's not the kind of situation you want to be in.
And he wraps around through lamps. Ooh, but McFlurry had the prediction, catches him, and that's gonna be a pistol round win for Macu. Point Park here, probably gonna lose this round just due to the nature of buy rounds, but we'll see what they can do. They should try and win this one, try and just shut this push down for Christian University as quick as possible.
Yeah, they're still in a pretty good spot. They still have a decent lead as long as they just don't lose the economy from here.
Yeah, just save here, try and get what picks you can. Come out swinging on your buy round. That's the goal.
And we're off, and it looks like they're going for A side early. We'll see what they do with that. And Mantis immediately taking 2 of them out.
Unfortunate. Point Park is now in a very difficult spot. Down weapons, down numbers. Colin is able to find 1. Try and get them back in this round. Point Park playing slow, just trying to see if Macu will make a mistake.
Yeah, and that's kind of been the strategy of the attackers in this game. It hasn't been very aggressive. It's mostly just slow movements a lot of the time.
But Mantis is going to find Colin. It's going to be these last 2 members of Point Park alone on A main, seeing what they can make happen. But they do get spotted, and Mantis able to get the ace with the Ares, just sprays everyone down.
And now Point Park needs this next one, or they're going to have a hard time going forward.
Yeah, this round is very critical. Point Park is able to afford a full buy here. So, the plan, win this one, try and win the next. That's obviously the plan, but if they lose here, their economy, gonna be in a difficult spot. This round, very important.
Yep, and we'll see what they can do with it. It's definitely going to be an interesting round.
Looks like they're gearing up for a hit on B. Colin lurking over by A. Barely misses that Phoenix. They barely miss each other.
Yep, and it looks like they're pushing up for B side right now.
Looks like they are just gearing up for a quick de-execute. We'll see what happens. They get caught by the trap, though, as Angel jumps onto site, and he
And
gets
one of them's
sprayed down. Point Park now in a bit of a difficult spot. They do know about the Sage in TP, able to take route to even things up.
Nice work by Colin, and at least now they're not under
And now Point Park
numbers
gonna
game.
back up, but they are about to run directly into Rest, and they get caught by the flash, but are able to take him out. That's huge.
Nice work by Colin.
Now Point Park regained numbers,
And it
has
looks like they're
decent
pushing for
position.
A.
Ooh, and
Nice.
Colin with the nice shot. Yeti finds Karu, and it is gonna be this Clove alone in showers. Point Park has the plant, they have numbers, they have position.
Yeah, and that was a great turnaround in this round. It looked like it wasn't gonna go their way at first, but then they kind of turned it around.
Yeah, they rallied very well there. Just flip things around, and Underdog is gonna find Clove. Point Park wins that round. This one is gonna be a full buy for both sides. First even round of the half, but if Point Park wins, they're in a very, very good spot.
Yep, and that's going to be interesting to see if they can pull it off here. And it looks like they're pushing up for B side early.
Point Park, bit spread out, might be trying to see what they can do on A site because Macu has been walking up rather aggressively there. But they are gearing up for the same push through market again.
Yep, and it looks like they're just slowly pushing up. They don't want to rush it.
Last time they did, they got caught by those Cypher trips, and that's how they lost numbers to start off last round. But they do have all 5 players here. Looks like they are just going to go for an execute. We'll see what they can do. And players are dropping. Colin goes out, goes 1 for 1. Underdog finds KO. Point Park now has numbers and control of the site.
And there goes the plant. And now they just need to use the number games to their advantage.
Yep, they take a pretty good post-plant position. Gonna be pretty difficult for Macu to retake this year. Ooh, but McFlurry does find Yeti in backside. Phoenix gets caught with that ult, but obviously able to come out again. Mantis finds Underdog. Numbers now in Macu's favor, but Angel with a nice double gets taken out. Big flash, let's see. Both players low health, and D with the wraparound catches Rest. Point Park in a great spot here. D, nice job getting that round, or getting that last kill.
And now the momentum seems to be going in Point Park's side as they only need 3 more wins here, and they can get out of here.
And right here, Macu's economy not in a great spot. Not going to be able to full buy here. Point Park in a very good position now to close out this game.
Yep, it looks like they're pushing up for A side this time. We'll see if that works out for them or not. And
Looks like they're all 5 just storming up through showers. The Phoenix ult comes out. They're just rushing this very quick. They don't find anyone with that Phoenix ult, but they do take space and get the plant down very quickly.
yep, good, very quick move by them. They wanted to make sure the other team had to go on the offensive.
Ooh, and Yeti tried to TP into heaven. Not quite able to win his duel. He is able to get Mantis, evening it up again, though.
Yep, and it looks like it's slowly going back in the favor of Point Park. It's
Trade coming out to both sides. McFlurry with a double before getting taken out by Colin. Colin barely not able to take out Bueno. And it's going to be Underdog in a 1v1. Able to get a lot of damage in a great spot here. Karu, one shot. Ooh, but gets one tap. Karu able to save that round. Well played by Karu. Point Park just not quite able to do it.
And they
Now-
just barely were able to get the spike. It was starting to get close there.
Just unfortunate. But Point Park's still in a good position. Both teams can afford a 4-buy here. Whoever wins this round is going to be in a good spot.
Yep, this is a very tense situation for both teams, and winning this one has to be on both teams' mind right now. It looks like
Economy is going to be a tiny bit in the favor of Macu, but both teams pretty even.
yeah, it looks like they're pushing up for B side this time.
Macu does have the ult advantage right now with that Sage ult ready and the Meeks ult, whereas Point Park does have that Breach ult online. We'll see what they can make happen with it. Mantis going to sit on these walls again. Point Parks didn't react to it last game. We'll see if they can here. They should know from where that Sage slow was thrown, though.
Yeah. And it looks like they're just kind of taking it slow. They're not trying to rush in and make a mistake
Point
this
Park
time.
does get the orb, and D does pop that Sky ult, so they do have information, and they do clear it. Mantis gets taken out. Point Park numbers advantage in their favor. They need to hit site real quick before those rotates come over. Angel barely gets saved by Yeti. Karu goes down. Colin takes out Bueno. Numbers heavily in Point Park's favor, and
the
they do
plant's
know where
down.
this Meeks is.
Yep, plants down 5-on-2. Point Park's in a great place.
Yep, they just need to not take 1v1s. That's always the name of the game when you have numbers like this. Do not take 1v1s.
And it looks like
Rest
okay,
gets spotted.
nice move.
That puts down to 2 health. It's traded out by Angel. Then they do know where McFlurry is. He takes out Underdog. And it is going to be a 3v1 now. Meeks heals up to full health real quick. Walks up. Gets taken out by Angel. And Point Park is going to be up 11-7. 2 more rounds and they can close this one out.
Yep, it was a great round for Point Park, and if they can just keep that up, they'll have this one down. And as of right now, the economy is it's still just pretty much even. I think it's slightly in favor of Point Park though. We'll see how Macu responds to that.
Macu is going to be on a save round here, which is really unfortunate for them. Because obviously, if they lose this round, that puts them on match point. So they're really placing everything they have into that next round, just hoping they can win their bye and get a streak going. Point Park is going for a quick B hit here. Probably smart because they can play range. And they're storming out really quick. Take out Mantis. Does get the trade by Karo. Going to be a 1-for-1 trade. But Point Park is going to get that plant down. The Viper ult comes out to secure the site.
Yep, it looks like it looks like Macu is now on the offensive here. And
Yeti
taking
able to
one
find
down.
Karo. Point Park has numbers. McFlurry does get the trade, though. And they are going to get a couple guns out of that. D finds McFlurry, though. And Underdog finds Rest. Should be one for Point Park, but Bueno finds D. And Angel shuts him down in that Viper ult. Going to be match point for Point Park with the team ace.
Yeah, that was a great play by Point Park, and now they just need one more and they can get out of here with the second game.
Obviously now Point Park's goal, close this one out, keep this momentum going into the next game.
Yep, and hopefully they can pull it off. And it looks like the economy is heavily in Point Park's favor again, which is not good for Macu.
Yeah, if Macu loses this one, that's it, though. So this really is their last stand. Both they are able to muster a full buy, and they do have all 5 ultimates online.
We'll see what they can do with that. That's going to be very important if they want any chance to win this.
Ooh, and McFlurry does find Colin for the first blood. Point
Yeah.
Park now down numbers, down ultimates, even on guns. We'll see if they can still pull this one out for this round.
Yep, it seems like Point Park's a little hesitant to move forward after they lost one of their own.
They really need to find a pick here, try and even things up. But it looks like Macu has the read with those rotates coming over. Ooh, but Phoenix TPs. Actually, it looks like they might have messed up the read. Never mind, that was with Phoenix Ultimate, so he respawns back on A.
Yep, and it looks like they're starting to push towards A for Point Park as well.
Ooh, and the Meeks Ultimate comes out, gonna force them back, force them to delay that push, try and buy time for rotates. Point Park now. Bit of a difficult spot here. 4 members
30 seconds left.
of Macu are on site. Point Park storming up, takes the TP. Looks like they're going to try and rush over, hit B where those members are on A. We'll see if they can do it. Solid plan. KO gets blinded, forced back. Angel finds one. He immediately respawns in Flow Vault, but KO goes down. Trades coming out for both sides. Point Park is down numbers. Underdog caught on the wrong angle, and it's gonna be Yeti in a 1v4. Ooh, but able to find 2.
Yeah, Yeti is pretty much not allowing it. You know.
Ooh, but gets caught trying to hop up on that box. McFlurry with a nice 4K to keep Macu in the game. But, worth noting, 3 ultimates were used for Macu there. Now they only have the Sage and Cypher ult. Gonna be... Point Park has 2 ults up.
Yeah, that was a huge deal for Point Park because they can just keep buying right now. They have the economy to deal with it.
They cannot full buy, but they can muster up a pretty solid... They can go pretty much even, which is all you really need to do. Both teams pretty equal in terms of economy. Point Park needs to win this one, though. If they lose here, they're down to a save round, and that puts them in a bad spot.
And it looks like they're pushing up for A.
They do get spotted by Rest, and he's able to escape with his life. The Phoenix ult comes out. Point Park just trying to rush out. I do think he Phoenix ulted a bit too early. And doesn't look like he's going to be able to get any value. But Colin finds McFlurry. So they did get something out of it. They haven't planted yet. Ooh, but KO finds Underdog. Mac gets the res. Ooh, and they just pick Point Park apart on that push. And yet again, Yeti is forced into a 1v4. He doesn't have Spike. He's going to try and back off, get a different angle. But very difficult spot. Might just be electing to save this one, which is probably smart with the economy being in the state it is.
Yeah, this is not where Point Park wanted to be this round. But it's probably best that Yeti just backs off for now and they come back at it next round.
Yeah, this one, Point Park now going to be down in economy. Macu going to be in a pretty solid spot. Ooh, he's going to try it. He TPs over, picks up Spike. Ooh, but he gets seen by the tripwires. They now know exactly where he is. And I don't think he knows McFlurry is right there. And McFlurry takes him out. Unfortunate. Now, Point Park gonna be on a save here, I believe. Not certain they can full buy. Macu gonna have a great spot for their economy. Point Park still has a 3-round cushion, but they should try and win now without letting it go to overtime. That's gonna be going to overtime. It's just a big toll mentally.
Yeah, honestly, especially when you have had such a lead just a couple rounds ago. It would really hurt them mentally to fall back to overtime.
Now, it does look like they're gonna be going for a hit on B together. They spot the Cypher Cam. We'll see what they do with this.
It looks like they're kind of slowly going at it, though they're not trying to rush it this time.
The Skydog comes out, hits the Cypher trip. Now they speed up, having broken that trip, trying to take space on site. Big Sky Flash. Ooh, but KO catches Colin, sprays him through the smoke. Big for KO, finds 2. Point Park does find 1. Ooh, nice play from Underdog, able to even things up. Point Park down a little bit of HP, but they have numbers and they do have Spike planted now. We'll see if they can muster up this post-plant effort.
Yep, it's now up to hold it down.
Ooh, but Rest finds 2 with the nice double. An Angel finds 1, but does go down. Macu holds on yet another round. And this one's become much closer than we would have thought. Point Park still on match point. And they should be going into this one with a bye round, which means they can close it out here. They put up a good effort that last one. We'll see what they can do now.
Yep. And it's The economy is now back in the side of Macu, which is not what Point Park wants.
Yeah, if Point Park loses here, odds are it is going to an OT.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes for them. But you know Point Park's gonna at least try to finish it right now.
I've got your trail.
And it does look like they're spread out, going for a default here. The Sky Alt comes out immediately to get some information, and they do know it's just those two on B site.
It's like they are
They keep missing that Cypher trip with the dog. Might be better to just trigger it with the dog, clear it out. It does look like they're putting a bit of util here. I'm kind of unsure what Point Park is doing here. All members kind of just hanging back.
Yeah, they seem very hesitant to just rush it anymore after the last couple rounds.
We do see Colin alone on B site, maybe trying to find a pick, maybe try and keep those people there. Point Park has numbers on A site, and it does look like they're gearing up for an execute now. Yep, and util comes out, but Colin gets picked off on B site. Yeti finds McFlurried on A. Point Park takes position, is going to get this plant down.
They got the plant down, and it looks like it's gonna be a 4-on-4.
Yep, Macu in slowly grouping up to push. Point Park playing two 2v2s basically. But Yeti gets taken out in lamps. Ooh, and now Point Park is in a difficult spot. Angel gets one, but Underdog goes down. Now they're just getting sprayed through the box. But Angel with the nice swing finds one. And Mantis gets the trade. And that's going to be 11-12. Point Park's economy not in a great spot. They need to win this one or it goes to OT.
This is not what Point Park wanted, and this could be really bad for them if they can't get this one.
Yeah, they can afford to buy here for the most part. Not everyone can. Macu does have the alt advantage here. They've got 3 on the board. We'll see if Point Park can get any value out of theirs.
Like they're pushing up for B side this time.
They have struggled a bit on the B site as opposed to A. It's a very difficult push. Cypher's util is so strong to hold that window.
It has seemed to be a pretty big issue for Point Park. Hopefully they can kind of fix that now.
Ooh, an Angel not able to win his duel, gets taken out. Point Park now down numbers. 4 ults on the board for Macu. Not the spot you want to be in.
Yep, and it looks like everyone's pushing now for B side, although it does look like one of those pushing for A side.
Yeah, D going over for a lurk. Looks like they're trying to rotate over. We'll see if D can find one, try and even things up. Yeah. Ooh, the Phoenix might have the read, though. Rest and D both on each other. We'll see. The flash comes out. D does a lot of damage to Rest. Not quite able to finish the kill. But Colin steps up and finishes it. And then he finds another. Point Park has numbers now. They have...
Point Park needed.
Yep, and the breach ult comes out to buy time. The plant goes down. Do they know the clove is on the flank, though? They don't have any of that sentinel utility.
4-on-3 as the plant is down.
The Viper ult comes out. Colin finds a third. Yeti finds one. Clove respawns with the ult, so Yeti's going to have to do it again.
Yep, but it's now 4-on-2. It's big for Point Park.
Ooh, and they spot that Cypher and do a lot of damage. Yeti does find Bueno a second time. Point Park, all they need to do is kill the 11 health Cypher to close this one out. And they do have a Viper ult to play with to do it.
There's no point on Mac to back off.
And Yeti with the 3K, and Point Park is able to close that game out. And we are going to be going to a game 3.
It was a nice job by Point Park. They managed to rally together at the end to stop the overtime.
Yeah, they started off very strong there. Obviously, the end was a bit closer than they probably would have liked, but they did a good job. Even when down at the end there, they managed to close it out solidly. and we are going to be going to a map 3.
That's huge for Point Park, and hopefully they can continue the momentum forward.
Yep. But yeah, Point Park not in a terrible. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We're about to get into Game 3 of Valorant Green, but we also do have Valorant Gold games. Starting here, we're going to be trying to follow along with both of them. Valorant Green, obviously, they're going into their Game 3 against Macu. We'll see if they can close that series out.
Yep. And I'm excited to see both teams go at it. Hopefully, both will do very well.
Yep, see the room absolutely packed. All the Valorant players in the program here now.
Yeah, that's a lot of people.
I think if Valorant Green can keep up that momentum from that last game, I feel pretty confident they can win. They've shown they can beat Macu. I think these teams are actually pretty evenly matched. The second game was very close. Point Bug just needed a minute to get warmed up. So we'll see if they can try and do it again this game. And then Gold has they've been playing very well this season so far. They're also looking to just keep things going. I'm pretty sure they are also undefeated. I'm not 100% on that, but they've been playing very well. They've had a lot of success, so they're going to be looking to keep their streak going.
Yeah, and I'm very interested to see how it goes. I don't think I've seen a gold game yet this year, so I'm very interested to see how they've been doing. I've heard they're undefeated, so that gives me hope for them for sure.
Yep, and we should be getting into these games shortly, hopefully. And it does look like Green's final game is going to be on Split. Now, it does look like Macu might be trying to go for the same comp again. They really like this lobby might be being remade here.
Yeah. I will say it's kind of weird they would take Cypher out, because what I saw from last game, it looked like Cypher was part of the reason why Point couldn't go towards the B side at all.
Yeah,
So
Cypher
it feels kind
especially
of.
is very strong on Split. Maybe that's what they're remaking for. Maybe they did mean to take Cypher.
Yeah,
Although I'm
maybe.
not sure you're allowed to remake because of that.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I think they might just forgot to swap sides.
And while we're here waiting for them to get into this game, seems like a good time as any to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Red Bull. Red Bull, they came in, gave us some Red Bull. They're the goats for that. Red Bull keeps everyone here energized during our long games.
Yeah, it's especially great for commentary because it's very hot back here. So
But looks like they are going to be getting back into they're electing to do.
yeah, well we'll see. It
And,
does look like Point's on defending again. So that's interesting.
and it looks like to start off, Macu is going to be going for an A hit.
And Yeah, it looks like they're all ganging up on the A side. It looks like it's gonna be a 5-man rush.
which does mean they are going to run into all of that Killjoy utility. So we'll see if Point Park can hold them long enough to get some rotates going.
Yep, and it's about to begin.
Underdog trying to take an aggressive position here in mid using that chamber TP from the looks of it. But he just gets the tripwire down, backs off. Probably smart. And Point Park does seem to know, so they are quickly rotating over to A site.
Yeah, looks like they're all preparing for a big fight on A side. And it looks like it was after the trigger went off. They definitely know they're there now.
All 5 members of Macu pushing up into heaven. We'll see what they do, spreading out a bit more now. They waited for the smoke to drop, but they get spotted by D, not able to take her out.
That was huge for D to be able to get out of there.
And there's a fight going on in the vent. And D just gets taken out by KO in heaven. Ooh, and a bunch of quick picks come out. Macu now gets the plant and is up 3-5. 2-5.
Yeah, that's not a good place to be for Point Park, because now they have to try to push up to get the spike, and they are already down by 3 people.
Historically, Point Park has struggled with these pistol rounds. So we'll see what they can make happen. Ooh, and they don't predict KO to be there, and he catches Angel. And it's going to be Underdog 1v5, gets taken out. KO with a 3K for the flawless to start the game.
Yeah, that's big for Macu. They really needed that, and it's not looking great for Point Park just yet.
Now, they're going to be trying to fight back, not let this one get too out of hand. Obviously, still early, anything can happen. Just not the start you would like to see.
Not what you want to see from Point Park, but I mean, like you said, it's still early, and they can still come back here.
Now, it does look like Point Park is predicting an A hit. Well, all of Macu's actually stacked up towards B. But they do flash, see that no one's there, quickly rotating over. Ooh, but Macu's aggressively taking space in mid, pushing up. Angel gets spotted, barely escapes with his life. Ooh, and Bueno sits down Angel. McFlurry takes out Yeti, gets traded. Trades coming out for both sides. D gets a headshot. Underdog gets a headshot. My bad. Doesn't take him out. And it's D alone in a 1v3 for what feels like the 10th time this series.
Yeah, it does seem like Big D keeps ending up having to face them alone, which I'm sure is not the best. Is not the best for her.
Ooh, and not able to find them. Able to get a pick actually, but the game disconnects with a connection error. Not sure what happened there.
Yeah, that's not expected at all.
Average Point Park Wi-Fi experience. But hopefully they can get back to that. Although they do have to manually set the game state back to the same thing.
Yeah, that was unexpected, but I guess we'll see about what's going on with them later. It was a very interesting start to the game, but I guess we'll find out what's going on later.
Yeah, Macu coming out swinging in this one, trying not to give Point Park the early lead they had last time.
Yeah, they didn't want to just let Point Park get the advantage like they did before, and it makes sense because they were struggling for a minute. Now they want to make sure that doesn't happen again. And it looks like the game's back. And it looks like Point Park's actually doing good here.
And they get 3 quick picks. Rest finds 1, but Point Park now in a good 4v1. Rest finds D, but now going to be a 1v3, and he just gets swarmed off of that flash. Point Park picks up a round pretty convincingly, although it was the bonus for Macu. So now we'll see if Macu can try and get it back on their side with with their full buy round here.
That was huge for Point Park. They needed that win, and now that they got it, they're at least not getting too backed up in economy.
They just need to try and make a stand here, although they are down weapons. Only 3 members having rifles.
It looks like Macu's gonna be pushing up B side. Yep, they're starting to push up B side. We'll see if it's ready. A nice move by Angel.
Angel, quick pick to open the round. Does a lot of damage, but the Meek's heal comes out. And that Sova's back up to full health. 1-for-1 trade on the mid side. Point Park still has numbers. Ooh, but KO gets D. And McFlurry finds Yeti numbers now even for both sides. Macu quickly healing back up. And it's going to be an even round from here on out.
And we'll see what how Point Park is preparing for this.
Ooh, an underdog just a bit too high there. Not able to take out KO. Now, Angel 1v2. We'll see what he can do. Macu rotating over towards that A site.
We'll see if Angel it realizes they're heading towards A. It doesn't seem like it. Well, it looks like Angel still thinks they're going for B site, and that's not good.
And they are going to get this plant down on A site here.
30 seconds left.
And they're going to be in pretty good post-plant position here. Macu just, if they play together, they'll be in a great spot.
Yep, and now it's all down to whether or not Angel can get to the spike without going down.
And he is going to barely avoid being spotted by that Sova drone. So Macu does not have information on him. We'll see what he can make happen here from this heaven position. But Macu playing very safe, tucked back in back sight. The smoke comes out. They are going to know where he is. He takes out one. Able to barely avoid that stun. Wraps around. Ooh, but they're just running around, and he's going to be out of time here. Ooh, he had to try and stick it. He was out of time, and McFlurry finishes him off. And that is going to be a 3-1 lead in Macu's favor.
It was a good effort from Angel. It just wasn't enough time to pull it off. And yeah, Point Park now needs to try to stay vigilant here and not fall too far behind.
Exactly. They can't let this lead get much bigger. It's going to get very difficult.
It looks like Macu's going to be pushing for A side here.
Yep, they have all 5 members stacked up on A. Now, Point Park does have a Killjoy online to work with. We'll see if they elect to use it. Ooh, and Colin finds that first blood onto McFlurry. That's pretty huge for them. They have numbers advantage. They spot the rest of the team with that Skydog.
Yeah, that was a nice shot from Colin. It looks like they're just trying to take him out as fast as they can here.
And it does look like Macu's going to back off, try and maybe rotate out. Ooh, and Bueno does catch Colin there being a bit greedy.
Looks like they're all starting to rotate the B side now. See if Point recognizing it. It does seem like yeah.
Ooh, an underdog with the double. Triple gets taken out by that Phoenix coming back from his ult, so it was functionally a double kill, but still, numbers now in Point Park's favor. Ooh, and Angel chases Rest directly into B. Gets caught from behind by KO, though, and it's going to be a 2v1 as KO creeps up to try and get that spike back.
Yeah, but this is a great place for Point Park, as they're definitely just going to try to protect the spike here.
And KO is creeping up to try and get it. That recon dart is going to slightly miss B, but he got the spike. But he is about to run into Yeti, so we'll see if Yeti can get him.
10 seconds.
And Yeti does, catches him trying to go for the plant. A solid round win from Point Park, keeping themselves pretty even.
3-2, it's still anyone's game from here.
And now economy should be stabilized for Point Park. Both teams about equal in terms of money.
That's good for That's good for both teams, but Point Park kind of has the momentum now. Let's see if they can hold it.
And it does look like Macu is electing to save here. Probably smart, because if they were to lose, that would be their econ shattered.
That is a big deal, and they're definitely a smart team. They don't want to just rush it. They understand that this is a longer kind of game. But both teams are very evenly matched. Park ends up doing it. Looks like the Macu's just kind of staying back to this side.
But they are gonna get spotted by that Sky ult. So Point Park does have a good bit of info to work with. All 5 members of Macu just waiting it out over by the A side. We'll see what they do. It seems like they're kind of waiting to see if Point Park does something first, but they are on offense. They've got to make a move.
Yeah, I don't actually know why you would wait, because most of the time the defenders are not going to push the boys.
Ooh, and Colin with a nice timing, able to catch that Sova there. And Point Park in a good spot. They have numbers for this post play, and they do have a Killjoy all. Ooh, an Angel with a double before getting taken out by McFlurry.
Now 4-on-2 with the spike down.
And Mantis just gets beamed through that wall. Ooh, it gets taken out immediately on the revive, and it's a double kill for Colin. And they force out the Clove ult with that Clove respawning and immediately getting sent back to the grave.
Yep, and now we are tied back up 3-3 as Point Park is starting to catch back up here. And the economy's starting to slowly turn to Point Park's side. If they can just hold on, they can start to outmatch them. It looks like Matthew's pushing for B side here. We'll see how they go about that.
Point Park does have 3 ults to work with. They still haven't used that Killjoy ult.
Yeah, they've been holding on to it. It does seem like they're trying to save it for when it's going to be most useful.
Ooh, an Underdog. In that off angle, they do break his trip. The wall comes out. Ooh, and they don't. Ooh. And Underdog somehow doesn't get the kill, able to TP out and find another kill. I have no idea how that worked out for him. By all rights, it shouldn't have, but it did.
And now Point Park has a 4-on-2 fight going on here.
And
now it's 3-on-1.
They do know where McFlurry is. And D takes him out. We did see, I don't know who it was, but someone on Point Park was trying to shoot their own teammate there.
It happens. You never fully know. At least they were able to pull it away.
That was a very messy round, but Point Park takes the lead.
Yeah, not every round's gonna be the cleanest, but at least they were able to pull it off.
That's what matters. All that matters is that the scoreboard is in their favor.
Yep. And I believe the economy should be too now, thanks to that.
Definitely. Macu should be on a save round here. I didn't get the chance to see what weapons they had, but
It looks like Macu's gonna be pushing for A side, or maybe not. They kind of just seem to be holding back. Seems like they might be rotating the B side now. And yeah, it seems like they're all moving that way right
they're
now.
just very spread out right now, waiting for something to happen. Point Park does have 2 members holding a cross angle in mid, so we'll see if they can maybe catch Macu.
Well, it looks like the fight's about to happen in the middle.
Ooh, and Rest able to take out Colin, catches him going up the rope. Ooh, an Underdog gets gunned down. Numbers in Macu's favor. It's going to be a 3v2.
Yeah, looks like Macu is just pushing heavy right now on 2 different sides.
Ooh, and I don't think D realizes that they are right behind her. Ooh, she does. She finds Spike. That's huge. We'll see if she can keep it going. Catches the second. Ooh, not able to get the third. But that was 2 picks. Maybe Angel can make something happen. He finds one. He finds 2. He knows where Karo is, and he does know where Spike is. In a pretty good spot, the Clove Smoke comes out. He has to make a move. Ooh.
And they might just run out of time before it even matters.
Is he going to get to Spike or get to site in time? No, he is out of time. Point Park Angel manages to clutch up.
That was a great play by Point Park.
Amazing job by Angel to save that round.
Now now they are definitely starting to pull away with it. If they can just keep the momentum going, keep outmatching them on the economy, they have a good chance here.
Still a very close game, only 2-round cushion, but Point Park 4 in a row. That's pretty big. They just need to keep this going.
They're starting to pull away with the economy, which is the first step really for Point Park.
And we do see Underdog buying an op here. We'll see if he can get a pick here, pushing up on B. Ooh, and he does, and TP's out. Well played. He redeemed himself for that whiff on B earlier.
Yeah, that was a nice play by Underdog. And it does seem like Point Park is starting to get more and more confident as the game goes on.
And it does look like Macu is going to back off of the B site after giving up that kill.
Yeah, it seems like they're kind of hovering around middle again. They do that a lot. They seem to try to wait for Point Park to overextend, and then they try to push the one way or the other.
But Point Park has been doing a great job just sitting back and waiting.
Yeah, that's the thing. They keep trying to wait for Point Park to make a move. But
Ooh.
Point Park's very disciplined and good at staying back.
But Vest is going to find the pick onto Collins. We'll see what happens here. D in a difficult spot in Vents, able to clear the Phoenix ult and able to get a second and somehow escape with their life. Never mind, they get taken out. Going to be a 2v3 in Macu's favor. Ooh, Angel spots the Clove, not able to take her out yet. And Clove escapes with their life. Point Park gonna have to rush over. They did give up B site here.
It looks like Mac is planning.
Ooh, and they do get a pick to even things up. Point Park in a decent spot. They have a little bit of time to work with, but the spike is down.
It's a 2-on-2 with the spike down.
And Angel spots Rest, able to take him out through the wall. It's a 1v1 as Bueno does find Underdog in heaven. Ooh, I don't think he heard the drop, though. Ooh, he does know. He knows. Ooh, and he's holding the angle a bit too closely and gets taken out. Gonna be a 4v5 now. This game, neck and neck. Teams evenly matched.
Yeah, and that does seem to be the case with these two teams. They've been playing it very evenly. It looks like Macu's planning to go for A side this time. We'll see how that goes for them.
One thing, Point Park has been holding on to some of these ultimates. They have had this Jet, this Killjoy ult, and this Omen ult for like 5 rounds now and just haven't been using them. At this point, it's better to use them and not get value than hold on to them this long. Ooh, and Karo does find Collins immediately to start out this one.
Yeah, we'll see if Point Park kind of starts using their ultimates or not. It does seem like they should be at this point.
Especially here, like, they can use that Killjoy ult, get some value, but it looks like they're just waiting. They gave up sight. Macu is going to get the plant down now. Ooh, and D able to find Rest despite the accuracy penalty. Underdog finds Karo, and now Point Park has numbers to work with. But they are on a time punch now. Spike is down, backside, but all 3 members are holding. This would be a perfect time to use a Killjoy ult, and it finally comes out. It's going to force all of them into the corner. Underdog with a nice spray through the smoke to take out McBlade.
Yeah, it was a great play by Underdog. There.
And they know exactly where they are,
Yeah,
yet
he
he
takes
steps
them
up,
both
takes
out.
them both out. Nice job. Does he have time to get the defuse? I believe he does. Point Park wins that one.
That was a great game from them, but it looks like we are now going to be seeing Macu pushing up to B side.
Point Park played that round pretty well. And this game, both teams seem so evenly matched. For the most part, the kills are very similar, minus Mantis, who's currently 1-9.
Yeah, Mantis seems to be the only one that's kind of been struggling behind. We'll see if Mantis can kind of step it up soon. But yeah, it's been a very evenly matched game.
And it does look like Macu is all stacked up on this B site here. Point Park seems to be gathered towards mid, which would be difficult, but those cabbages come out, so they do know where they are. Ooh, and they find the Clove, they find the hit. Angel finds one, able to back out, finds a second. Well played by Angel. Single-handedly kills that push.
It looks like Point Park once again with the numbers advantage.
Angel has been really stepping up this game.
Yeah, it's been very interesting to see, and yeah, honestly, just Point Park in general, this game has been honestly one of the best ones I think they've had in the whole series so far.
And it does look like all three remaining members of Macu are geared up in mid, but they are about to run into some Killjoy utility and a crossfire with three members of Point Park.
Yeah,
So we'll see if Macu can make something happen.
and it's been very interesting to see both teams kind of just fighting
30
for position. There's
seconds
a nice
And
pick there.
D finds one. Bueno gets Colin in revenge, but both members of Macu are basically pinned down in mid as the spike is down. They run up to get it, and now they're about to run into Underdog and Angel. Angel gets a third, and it's gonna be this Clove alone sprinting the site, but I don't think he can make it in time. Yep, and he's on site. They know where he is, and he doesn't have enough time. We heard the absolute panic in Underdog's voice there. Thought he was about to get taken out. Meanwhile, on the gold team side, looks like they are they're down pretty rough right now, 5-1. Not where you want to be, but still time makes something happen.
Yep, it's still early in that game. They could definitely still come back from it. Meanwhile, it just seems. Meanwhile, in the Macu game, it just seems a little more evened out.
And Colin taking a risky duel there, escapes with his life. Nobody taking any real damage there. But all five members of Macu are grouped up very tightly here. This is a perfect chance if you had something like Raze, but they elect to go with the Jet for the duelist, which is kind of interesting. Yeti does find Rest. Pretty big pick. Rest has been doing a great job for Macu this entire series.
Getting the second one before they took him out, and then
But
they
both
went-
Reses come out, the Clove Res and the Phoenix ones. And Colin just misses Bueno there, but Bueno gets sat down again by Yeti. Yeti with 3 kills in this round already.
Yeah, Yeti's just going off, and he's just
Although
trying to keep control.
you wouldn't know it by looking at the players alive. There's 4 players up, and Yeti gets taken out by Karu. It's a 4v4.
It seems like Mac was finally able to take down Yeti, but he did a lot of damage before he went down.
Yep, got out 2 ults. And then that Phoenix ult is coming out to clear mid, push up into heaven.
And Underdog with a chance.
In Underdog, ooh, he avoided the Phoenix only to get taken out by McFlurry. And then Angel also goes down. 2v4 in Macu's favor. Rest finds D. It's going to be Colin in a 1v4.
We'll see if Colin can kind of take him out, but it's gonna be really rough.
And he walks into the smoke where McFlurry was camped out. And McFlurry with a 3k to neutralize the 3k from Yeti.
That was a very good game for Macu. They managed to turn it back around, and now at 7-5, both teams very evenly matched.
Yeah, although that did deal a pretty big blow to Point Park's economy. But still a close round. I believe this is the last round of the half. Never mind. First round of the new half. Point Park gearing up. Looks like they're going to be going for an A hit here. A B hit, pardon. Whereas Macu's very spread out. 2 on each site, 1 in mid.
Let's fly.
We'll see how Macu really manages to defend without a true sentinel other than the Sage.
It's been very back and forth. We'll see how this round goes. I believe this is the last round.
Ooh, and they just run out towards Rest, take him out, but Mantis gets the trade, and then Bueno finds Colin. Numbers in Macu's favor right now. Point Park kind of forced to back off, although the spike is down on site, so they don't have much of a choice but to make something happen here.
Yep. Teams are kind of just fighting for positioning again. But right now, Macu definitely has the advantage.
An Underdog being held off by the Sage wall here. towards the mid side. But that wall is going to come down, give him a chance to move up. We'll see if he can maybe win a duel, try and even it up. But Point Park, not very healthy here. Yeti escaping with 15 health. D just below half.
It's not looking great for Point Park, and they still haven't even placed the plant yet. Not looking great.
That spike is just being camped by all these members of Macu. Ooh, but Yeti takes out one before going down, and it's going to be underdog in a 1v3, and he cannot do it. That's going to be another pistol round in Macu's favor.
And now 7 and 6. Things are still just super close.
Very evenly matched game. Point Park struggled on these pistol rounds, so we'll see if they can try and make it up. Obviously, they had a little bit of a cushion to work, but not as much work with, but not as much as they would have liked.
It was a lot more spread out about 3 rounds ago.
And we do see Yeti is gonna hero by that Marshall, see if he can make something happen. I kind of like the pick. Yeti's been having a great game.
We'll see what they can do from here. It does seem like Point Park's pushing up towards A side. And Mantis takes down Colin.
Unfortunate. All these members of Point Park are kind of pressed up into this A corner in A main. They need to push out though, or else Maku's gonna rotate over.
It's been a very rough fight.
They get spotted as they are going up for this hit. Angel dashes onto site, does a lot of damage. Underdog gets the trade before going down, and it's going to be McFlurried. Ooh, able to find a second with a nice shot onto D. Ooh, is Yeti able to get him? Yes, but Yeti is alone in a 1v3 with a sniper. A very difficult spot to be in.
Yeah, it's not the place Yeti wants to be. But
He
nice
does
shot
find
from
Mantis.
Yeti.
Nice shot, but there's two here just pushing up on him. And he is running out of time to work with. He doesn't have that plant down. There is an Ares on the floor if he wants to get it. Ooh, and just unfortunate. Barely misses the head, hits the body. Valiant effort from Yeti there.
It was a very valiant effort. He just couldn't pull it off. It looks like Gold Team just managed to win one.
Gold team making the game a bit more interesting. Only down 3 now. And then we've got this Macu game tied up now. Both teams 7-7.
The evenness of these two teams is really making this an interesting game. It could really go either way at this point.
Point Park, both teams actually on half buys, but we'll see what happens. Both teams pretty much even economy-wise. We'll see if Point Park expects the Sage on top of this wall here. And it looks like they don't. She gets Colin and escapes with her life.
It looks like side, but right now they are outnumbered again. And that's been one of Point Park's biggest issues. Every time they end up outnumbered, it's just hard for them to come back from it.
And D creeping up, barely misses the timing to see Rest. Let's see. Ooh, but Rest spots them on the jump peak. Angel able to come out and get them, though. Now Point Park takes position on site. Yeti finds one, Underdog goes down. It's a 3v3, as Point Park is going to get this plant down here.
Planted.
Nice work from Point Park to manage to kind of tie it back up.
Ooh, but Yeti on the flank, able to find Mantis. Is he able to find the other who was there? No, but he does a lot of damage to McFlurried, and D finds Bueno. McFlurried is able to heal up to full. Meek's just broken right now, that amount of healing. He can heal his whole team, too. Both members of Point Park, low health. Meek's full health. But they have numbers, and they have the spike. McFlurried's gonna go for the tap. Catches Angel, though. Angel was too aggressive there. Ooh. In a clutch from McFlurried as Macu seizes the lead.
That's not what Point Park needed. And right now, Macu has went from down a few to up one as they're trying to pull ahead.
Meanwhile, as we near the end of the half for Gold Team. They're down 4. Difficult spot, but not a terrible one.
And it looks like they're trying to defend here, but it's not. It's still very evened out.
1-for-1 trade coming out as both teams just trying to duel for position on this. But Delaware is going to find this plant, and they take out 2. Ooh, take out 3 as Jade gets a double kill. And it's going to be Fear the Fin in a 1v3. Barely not able to get that triple. That was a closer round than it should have been, though.
Finn had great work there. He just couldn't put it away in the end.
Meanwhile, we do see Point Park just slowly creeping up on the side of Green Team. They did get a pick, but that Sage Res has been a thorn in their side this entire series. Every time they get a pick, it's immediately neutralized. And Keru barely misses the timing to get Colin there. And he gets caught because of it. They both walk up. Ooh, but a nice double from Keru as he beams Colin an underdog with that Spectre.
And the Snake's down, but Point Park down 4-3 here.
Yeti is able to find Bueno to even it up. Ooh, but they both run directly into an Odin and get sprayed down, and D cannot do it. Mantis of 3k with that Odin.
And once again, Macu winning, and now they're up by 2. This little winning streak they've had for the last couple rounds, carrying their economy back up.
Point Park really need to get a winner in here in these next couple rounds, as Macu's just inching closer and closer to match point, putting Point Park in a difficult position. Here, they're on a save round. Gotta see if they can maybe make something happen, but they're running out of time.
They need to really turn it around here. Things are not going to go well. It looks like they're kind of pushing for B side, but not really. They're kind of split.
Switching sides.
And it looks like they might be trying to go mid here, maybe see if someone pushes up B. Ooh, but Colin walks up, barely escapes Bueno, but gets taken out by Rest, who's also there, and D gets gunned down in the same spot. Angel is able to recover the spike, but it's a 3v2 as Underdog goes down in mid. Yeti finds 1. Angel's in a rough spot, finds... Ooh, never mind, Clove barely lives. Angel escapes with his life and the spike, but it's a 2v4, and that Clove just got healed to full by that Sage.
It looks like Angel is moving towards B side while Yeti continues to attack on A side.
Ooh, Yeti creeps up, finds the pick, and immediately TPs over to B. Ooh, but just happens to get in the wrong spot. Unfortunate. McFlurry versus Angel on site. But Angel running out of time before the rest of Macu gets there. Ooh, and Mantis with the Odin is just going to spray through the wall in a team ace for Macu as they go up 10-7.
Yeah, and Macu's starting to kind of pull away with it. Point Park is really running out of time now.
We said that Mantis was struggling earlier this game. It seems like they've started doing great as soon as they found an Odin.
Yeah, it seems like that's just the difference they needed, and now it's starting to really pull their team ahead.
The Odin's such an annoying weapon to play against. People get hated on it, hated on for it all the time in ranked. It is my favorite gun in the game, though.
It looks like Point Park really spread out this time.
Might be going for a default here. Sage back up on this wall, but Colin, I think, has the read after dying to it last time, and they're just going to break the wall, force Sage back.
It still looks like...
Ooh, but a battle going on over by B site, and Yeti takes out the Phoenix Ult, and Underdog takes out Bueno. Good, well played by Point Park. They have numbers now. And they're trying to pinch this Sova here in vent, and it looks like they're just gonna catch him on the drone. Oh, I thought he was gonna knife him. in Point Park now has numbers to work with, and they do have um this Meeks isolated on A site completely alone, but McFlurry finds D, able to buy some time, finds a second one, but Mantis runs directly into Angel. But Meeks putting up a valiant stand on site, able to find two and buy so much time here. Able to find three. McFlurry putting his team on their back in this round. Finds four. If he takes out Underdog, it's an ace. Ooh, but Underdog stops the ace, but he has to plant. He's out of time. Ooh,
Looks like he's gonna maybe
he gets the plant, but Best is walking up. And Underdog with the clutch.
great work from Underdog, and that was what they needed. Now they're at least able to keep up a little bit.
That might be what turns things around. That was a big win. Also, Underdog not only clutching up, but denying the ace for Meeks. You can't be letting them ace you twice in the same series.
Like things are starting to even back out a little bit for Point Park, but they still have to stay focused.
Yep, Macu does have that 2-round cushion to work with, but Point Park able to buy up here. They do get spotted looking to walk up, but they didn't get to see how many. That Silver Drone's going to come out. The Killjoy ult is invested. So Point Park fully committing to this hit, and it looks like Who's sacrificing himself to try and get a pick, but it doesn't work out, and he dies to the Killjoy Molly. Ooh, and detained back site. They find Best, and they are able to get him. Point Park storms onto site behind that Killjoy ult. Well played. They take position, get the plant down, and they have numbers.
Yeah, that was an extremely aggressive play, but it worked out. Now it's 5-on-3 with this plant down.
And this Meeks is walking into an insane crossfire. Does get punished for it, and it's 2-for-1 trade happening on the other side of the site. No bueno in a 1v3 now. If Point Park just play together, there should be no way to lose. They just can't take 1v1s, and Underdog sits him down. Point Park pulling back into this one. Back to 9-10.
Yep, and now it's anyone's game. We're starting to get down to the wire here, and it's still so even.
If it keeps up at this rate, we might be headed towards an overtime. This is one of the closest series we've seen. Both teams just so evenly matched.
Yeah, they neither side seems to want to give up too much, and it does seem like the economy is starting to drift back into Point Park's favor here, which is huge for them as they try to come back here.
And it does look like they're hitting A on this side. The Sky ult comes out, finds that Sova on site, finds the Clove and back site. Oh, but the whiff! They go 1-for-1. Somehow that was able to find one. They are going to get this plant down for 3 here, though, and it's a 4v4 post-plant scenario.
See,
Bueno does find Yeti up in heaven, though.
it seems like both teams are trying to push heavy here. See which one walks out of it.
Ooh, but a big Meeks ult comes out, but Underdog finds Bueno, who immediately pops the Clove revive. We'll see if Underdog can do it again. Ooh, but Angel caught on the angle by Mantis. D finds one, Underdog finds one, but they both go down, and it's going to go back to a 2-round lead in Macu's favor.
And Macu only needs 2 more, and they can walk out of here with the win.
Meanwhile, it is still a pretty close game on the gold team side. Still a 3-round game. I feel like it's been a 3-round game this entire time.
It does seem like Point Park has just been slightly behind that game for a while now. We'll see if they can turn that around. But
It's still close enough that they very well could come back and win it, though.
yeah. And here, we're back to this game again, and it looks like economy's back in Macu's side, which is not what Point Park wants.
Point Park is going to force up here, though, buying all they can. They really don't want to give Macu this match point. And they all get spotted by that drone, or at least 2 of them do. We'll see what they make of it here, as 3 of them are positioned over by mid. And Underdog is going to find one before Bueno finds Colin, so it's back to a 4v4, even numbers.
Looks like they're pushing heavy on B side.
Just waiting for that team to group up, maybe get some util, get some info. And they use the smokes. Ooh, but Rest with a lucky headshot through the smoke. Now numbers in Macu's favor, and they have time to work with.
Not looking great for Point Park here.
Angel playing a dangerous game here. We'll see if he swings it, though. They really need to find a pick, try and get this round closer.
See how it goes. It does seem like his teammates are starting to pull back a little bit.
Ooh, and he swings, and they both barely miss each other. But Point Park running out of time, only 30 seconds left. But Underdog finds Bueno in mid. It's back to a 3v3, but they only have 25 seconds to work with. They need to get to A site quickly. And it does seem like Macu is responding. They know Point Park's going A. Let's see if they can slow him down, deny that plant. But Point Park is out of time, basically. They need to start planting now.
Looks like they're at A side right now, but
They are going to get the plant down, it looks like, and they are able to take a good position, but Rest finds one and Karo finds one. Ooh, and Point Park just drops like flies as Macu is able to go up match point, and Point Park's on a save round. This is a very difficult spot to be in.
yeah, they're now down behind 3, and if they lose even just 1, it's over.
It's still winnable, but it's a very difficult spot to be in, and it does look like Point Park is going to call a quick timeout, try and lock in before this final round. Or what could be the final round.
Yeah, it looks like Point Park understands that they need to come at this a little bit differently than they've been doing, or this is just not going to happen.
Yeah, they desperately need to win this one. They have just enough money to half buy. They can all buy rifles, but if they buy a full rifle, they can't get shield. Whereas Macu's economy in a very solid it's gonna be an uphill battle for Point Park.
Yeah, it's not definitely not going to be easy, but they cannot lose from here. They have to hold it together from here.
If they lose just one round, it's over. This has been such a well-played series from both sides. Truly a great game.
It's coming close to over anyway. Both teams are close. It's just about which one can pull it off. And it looks like the timeout's over. We'll see what Point Park decided to do with it.
Point Park just trying to hang on to their undefeated status. Macu looking to knock off an undefeated team. Both teams have so much on the line here.
Looks like Point Park's pushing for A side here. We'll see if they can pull it off.
Macu does only have 2 players on A site, but both teams have really struggled to hold A in a post plant, and Macu knows and is rotating over very quick, but the Killjoy ultimate does come out. That's going to clear most of the site, but Point Park is waiting for it to go off first. And they push out behind that smoke. Let's see what happens. They run into the Meek stun, though, and through the smoke, McFlurry finds Underdog. Point Park should be able to get the plant off here, but they are down numbers, down ultimates.
It looks like the plant's going down, but it is a 5-on-4 situation.
And Macu does have that Phoenix ult, and it is going to come out here as they're looking to try and aggressively retake from the side of the site. Yeti gets gunned down. Angel takes out the Phoenix ult. Ooh, well played. Colin and Angel take out 3 back to back to back. And it's a 2v2. They're both pushed in this corner. Ooh, but Colin goes down to Bueno. Angel finds him, but goes down. And Macu is going to be able to barely close out this game. That was such a close game and such a close series. Well played by both sides as Macu hands Point Park Green their first loss.
Yeah, it was a great game, and it really came down to the wire. It was super close. Just Macu outplayed Point Park there.
Well played from both sides. But with that, I believe we're going to hop back into the gold team game, which still a 3-round game as has been this whole time. Point Park trying to make something happen on offense here. They are down numbers at the moment and down ultimates quite a lot. as they get spotted, pushed up onto B, but they are aggressively coming out, trying to hit the site. Do they know about the Cypher who's lurking in the smoke, though? Ooh, Creep with a nasty flick to sit that Cypher down. Point Park gets the plant and equalizes the numbers.
Nice work by Creep, and it looks like they may just get away with this round.
But 4v4, Fade Ultimate comes out with a lot of info. But Creep with a nice hit. Sylv gets one. Ari takes out another. Point Park up numbers.
One enemy remaining.
And they have the plant down. Ari finds a second before Creep gets taken out by that Sky. And it's going to be this Sky alone in heaven. Or not heaven. Ooh, and they drop directly into the Phoenix, ulting, and then they run down his body. It's Brimstone alone, and Ari sits down that Sky to get the round win. Well played by Ari and Creep there, especially.
For the first time, we see it broaden 3-score difference.
Yep, Point Park still down 2, but definitely more manageable now.
Yeah, if they can just hang on and start winning a couple games in a row, they can start to get their momentum going, and then maybe they can turn this around. And it looks like Point Park is focusing on the middle here. We'll see what that entails. A little slow early, neither team really pushing too much. Point Park is somewhat congregating around the A side now, though.
They're pretty spread out, but it does look like that, yeah. They do have no ultimates to work with. Ooh, and Finn gets taken out, loses the duel to Waylay. And Creep lurking up on this A site. Gonna run into Sky, able to take him out though. And that gives him his ultimate, which he pops immediately. Try and find some info, try and draw some defenders over to B site, which it seems like it works. 3 players have rotated towards B as Point Park is back towards A.
And that might be a huge play that changes the see.
And here it is, the combat step comes out, Point Park aggressively pushing onto site, rotates coming over from Delaware. Point Park takes position, looks like they're gonna be able to get the plant down. And Ari sprays down Shell and finds another on Sil back to back. Point Park has numbers, have the plant, have time.
And yep, it's a 4-on-2. It does look like it might be going to Point Park here. Let's Delaware can do.
Ooh, but Melon just barely aiming too high. Gong finds 2, Creep finds Jade.
2-on.
But both players are weak enough that one shot takes them out. But Ari with another 3K.
And now it's just a 1-point lead for Delaware.
As Point Park getting this comeback going.
It's looking very good for it's looking very good for Point Park here. So it's trying to get it evened out again, and that's exactly what they need. And again, it seems like they're just kind of not committing either side.
Just
They're just gonna
spreading
push
out,
it.
going for a default, try and get information, try and maybe get some picks before you truly commit to a side. But Viper walks up aggressively, barely misses seeing that Waylay. Ooh, but the Waylay turns around, spots Finn, and sits him down.
It does seem like Delaware has the numbers game.
All 4 remaining members of Point Park stacked up on B site, about to go for a hit. Somehow, don't take out Sky there, and Sky backs off with her life. Now Point Park running into a Cypher on B, very difficult position to be in, but they don't really have much of a choice. The Greaseball comes out to Jiggle just to force them off the angle as Point Park pushes onto site. Ooh, in the collab by Ari, takes them both out. 2 go down for Point Park, but Melon finds that fade, and it's a 2v2.
That was a huge change of momentum, and both teams now are playing this 2v2.
They need to push up though. Spike is down. Ari in a good spot though. They don't seem to know. Barely doesn't get seen. Ooh, but gets taken out by Sil. And it's gonna be Melon. 1v2 and they know where she is. Not a great spot to be.
It's very bad for Melon. It does not look like Point Park's gonna get
10
They're
seconds
out of
left.
time too. They step out and get shot down by Silver 4K. Now, Point Park down 2, Delaware 1 away from match point.
Yeah, it's not
Pretty similar spot to what we just saw in the other game.
not what Point Park needs to do. They need to find a way to get back up here.
Their economy not amazing. If they lose this round, they're completely broke, but they can afford to mostly buy this round. Delaware also not in a great spot economy-wise, but slightly better.
Yeah, it does seem like these two teams kind of kept trading, and that just kind of led to both kind of just being not very good economy. Right now, it's like Point Park once again just spreading out. It's kind of slow early. Little bit of a showdown going on here in the middle.
Yeah, Point Park has 4 members stacked over by A, with 3 members of Delaware sit and wait. Delaware has 3 ults to work with, but if I'm them, I try and save them for match point. Ooh, Silv spots that jump peak, but they do have some info to work with now. Time slowly ticking away, though. Point Park needs to make a choice.
And it looks like they're all kind of rotating towards B side.
I think they realize that 3 members are on that A site, but it's a Cypher over on B, which
30 seconds left.
that might as well be a third play with all the util. Both Skies on opposite ends of the corner. Ooh, and he just runs directly into the Odin. Finn gets his trade at least. Not Odin, Judge, my bad. But Point Park is going to be able to get on site and get the plan. Can they win this post plan? They have decent position. And still walks out, gets hit, gets taken out. Numbers, Point Park favor. Both members of Delaware walking out and they catch them in a crossfire. It's down to a 2v2, but Ari with a nice double, giving numbers back to Point Park. It's a close game. Ooh. They just can't give him 1v1s. Shelf running out of time to work with. And Ari sits him down for what I believe is the 5th 3K of this game, at least, that we have seen. And it's back to a 1-point game.
Yeah, Ari's doing very well and kind of carrying the team on his back right now with his 22 kills. He's trying to just keep his team from falling apart. It looks like, once again, Point Park is just committing to not going after anything specific and staying in the middle here. It's been an interesting strategy and it's kind of been working.
I mean, they do that a lot in high levels for a reason. You default, spread out, try and just get control of the map before you commit to something. And it looks like Delaware aggressively pushing up on B long. Creep running away, so now Point Park speeding up their hit on A. 4 members versus 1. They're gonna get it, should be able to get a post plant here. Ooh, but Jade finds one despite being in a 1v4 and somehow is still alive. Point Park has spent way too long on this. Jade finds a second, but it was the Phoenix ult. Ari finally takes out Jade. Creep finds Sylv. Numbers in Point Park's favor.
They've had a little bit of a struggle for a second, but now...
Ooh, and Creep gets the double, gets a triple, sprays, puts him low health. Creep with a 4K. Tie game, Point Park.
Yeah, but now both teams just two off of winning here.
Ari, Cast, and Creep both having big games here, 24 and 21 kills respectively. Sylv popping off on the side of Delaware, 25 and 16.
This is effectively a best of 3 now, and whoever can win 2 will just get out of here with the win. And again, they just go for that default. They don't want to be open aggressive here. still gets one of
Point Park down numbers and down HP a little bit, but they still have time. They can still make something happen. They've been in worse situations. Just don't want to give over match point here.
looks like they're somewhat going to the A side, but they have one player lurking in B.
Creep living up to his name, creeping up this B long, maybe trying to draw some players over there to free up some space for Point Park on the A side. He walks up. He knows that trip is there, but not sure if he can break it without triggering it. And he is going to succeed in drawing that sky over. Point Park now has the numbers even on A side, but they need to do something now to capitalize. They're wasting too much time, and it's giving them a chance to regroup. Bellin finds Sylv. Numbers back to being even. Orphans come out. The Fade ult comes out. The Raze ult comes out. The Sky ult comes out.
And there goes the spike.
The Raze ult not able to find anyone. The Sky ult does get him some good info. Now 4v4 post plant, time ticking down. Creep, another double kill before getting taken out by Jade. Numbers Point Park's favor, but Melon taken out by when Jade gets Ari, and it's Finn 1v1 and gets taken out. Gonna be match point Delaware. This has been such a close game.
It looks like once again Point Park is going to the default. They just don't want to overextend.
They need to win this one, send it to overtime.
From here on out, Point Park can't afford to make too many mistakes.
They are on a light buy here, unfortunately, so it is going to be an uphill battle this round. They do have a Brimstone and Viper ult to work with, at least.
It looks like they're just kind of somewhat on the B side here. There's a big
Which might be
tower.
smart, though. This is the first round the Cypher hasn't been... first round in a while. The Cypher hasn't been over by the B site. And it's the one time Point Park is fully committing to B, it looks like. So we'll see what they can make happen here. All 5 members of Point Park stacked up, now grouping up.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be a big push.
And the smokes come out, the Brim ult comes out, Gong finds Cypher. So numbers down Point Park. Ultimates coming out for both sides. So much is happening. The Viper ult came out, the Waylay ult came out, the Brimstone ult came out. Still finds another. Ari finds Sylv with the Molly though. 3v4, Point Park has this Viper ult, but the Cypher ult's coming out to counter it. Ooh, and barely escaping from the life for a bit. Quick TP, they're gonna be able to get the plant down. The question is it gonna be fast enough, and are they gonna be able to get in a good position for this post plant? Ooh, and Creep runs into the Cypher trip. They know where he is. Creep able to take out the other Sky. Numbers even. Plant is down. Time's ticking away. 10 Point Park hold on and send it to overtime.
It looks like Creep's getting pressured in.
Army with a
Hello. I'm
Welcome
here now.
back we're gonna be going into game 2 for Valorant Gold team here.
Hello. Yes, that is indeed true. Yeah, so we did some casting switching. We're changing up a little bit. I'm here now. Hello.
This is the same person.
Okay. You know, that does mean that I imagine in this upcoming round here, we'll be able to see some new Vi strats that well, at least I haven't really been able to see yet. And on top of that, actually, specifically for Point Parks, with
Gun here.
kind of comparing what Point Park Green and Gold team does, I want to see more different strategies that get involved because as Point Park Green also played on Pearl. So
Nobody on green was confident enough to pick the Astra, but she is one of the best controllers if you know how to play her well, especially on maps like this where her ultimate is amazing on Pearl.
Yeah, it's very strong, and like I imagine.
And now, getting into this one, we do see Delaware on offense to start off. They are gearing up, heading towards the A site, with that KO lurking up throughout. Point Park doesn't seem really prepared for it. 3 members stacked over on B.
Seeing a little bit more of this. Okay. Slow down. Obviously, we're gonna need to maybe have someone anchor B, which is what the Knight does.
In a quick gunfight there, not anything really happening, but Delaware's gonna explode out onto site here. Probably gonna get the plant down from the looks of it. Ooh, but 1-to-1 trade coming out. Extra and Sexy Beast both.
Isolation, unfortunately, Ari getting eliminated here. Getting
And
another
Finn,
one.
double kill with the classic. Gonna be a 3v2. Point Park favor. The creep.
Creep getting one. Another one taken out. Extra.
Extra follows it up, sits down Gong, and Point Park convincingly wins round 1. That was very well played there.
The trading was excellently executed there. Back and forth. At least something. There was always a reason. There was always a purpose. That was actually very well played.
And now Point Park gonna be going into their bye round here. Looks like the 4 players heading towards the side of the map. Nah, 3 at least though on B site. Whereas Delaware looks like they might be heading towards B or mid here, considering they did just get picked apart on the A side.
Yeah, that is very. So we are seeing. I'm not entirely sure how to explain this. Maybe 3-1-1.
From the looks of it, yep. And that is a pretty strong setup on B for Point Park. All that util.
However, Delaware is also going to be pushing pretty heavy on mid, so we're gonna have to understand. Pretty soon, Point Park. Oh no!
Ooh,
Getting
and
caught
Ari
off guard.
walks up, gets one tapped by Sil.
Lost control over that A main a little bit.
And 4 members of Delaware walking up through mid, and they're gonna walk all the way into Link unopposed behind that Astra smoke.
Right, Finn, don't get caught off guard. Showing okay.
Sil
Pulled back a
finds
little bit,
another.
running over back to B. Finn did walk away, so I think they heard that one. Decided.
And Sil so far 2 shots, 2 kills before getting taken out by Finn.
This KO might be having an amazing flank here. This is
Behind all 3 members of Point Park, and it doesn't seem like they're aware. Ooh, and if we
catching it on.
takes
Will
him
they
out.
be able to notice the second one that's thinking, oh no, they think they pull him back, and we're also bringing the fight over to A this time.
But Gongs
off
is lurking,
guard.
catches Finn off guard.
Creep's gonna peek, that might get eliminated by the,
Just a bit too long of an angle for this to peek a sniper. And it's going to be Dexy Beast alone in 1v3.
being shot by.
Ooh, and
Flash
pushes up
Oh!
and gets taken out. A 3k for Gong. Now, one thing I saw didn't end up being used, but Point Park had a really strong util setup on the B side. They had an Astra Star, the Vice Wall, and the Vice barbed wire all in the same spot. I feel like
Right.
that must be annoying to push into.
I honestly agree, but on top of that, they are also just or at least Point Park is stacking B heavily, so it's kind of like this util usage of locking down B on top of these players. So basically, B is kind of this anti-entry that Delaware may or may not try to
And
contest.
it does look like they're trying to go B here, which makes sense. All those long sight lines are great when you have a weapons advantage.
Exactly.
And Point Park obviously on a pistol round here, whereas Delaware's on their bonus. On their buy, pardon.
They are splitting up a little. Trying to get some. They have control over our mid now. Alongside that, we have Chamber holding down Elon.
But he might be about to walk into that Vice Wall. We'll see what happens there. The smoke comes out, but he's caught on the wrong side of the wall. He's going to back off.
We're conjugating around the A site. It's likely going to be an A shot. Unfortunately, we got Vi's getting the first blood here.
And with that, Delaware's going to all push over and try and storm onto A. They take out Creep, and now they're going to get the site uncontested as the remaining 3 members of Point Park are slowly rotating over.
Now, at this point, it really matters more about getting these picks because right now, they need to be able to get the picks off
And
so they're able to tie that money up.
they do find one. There is a chance here, only down 1 player, but with their weapons disadvantage, it's going to be hard. But Extra finds one, and it's been up in players. Ooh.
Oh, and it's a tie in players now. Art, Beer getting eliminated by...
And with that, Shelp pushed all the way up. Sylv just holding it far away.
B's alone.
Hit.
Get one. Oh, no, what is this?
And gets taken out after both of them just whiff their entire mags. Unfortunate, and with that, Delaware's gonna take the lead.
On third game here, going up to the 4th now. Maybe some changes need to occur for Point Park, especially like it just seems like maybe more of a they're losing. It's slow in the beginning, obviously. They're trying to really figure out exactly what side to hit. And I think at some point, Delaware begins their push, and it's hard, it's fast, it's heavy.
To me,
And
it
Point
feels
Park
like
kind of loses that.
Point Park has been just peaking at bad moments, giving up player advantage, and then getting overwhelmed.
Exactly.
And it does look like Delaware actually might be committing to B for once.
I think
4
those
players
trades
over
as
there.
Josh attempted to get something on that one. Or is Finn hiding there, trying to at least something there?
And they're just gonna slowly creep up, about to run into all that util. Vice is alone in mid, might be about to run into extra.
It's timing.
Insane, they're both just backing
Extra.
up. Ooh,
Yes,
and able to
yes, and
get
get
one.
one.
First blood for Point Park. The remaining 4 members of Delaware all stacked up at B. At this point, they might have to commit, or else they might be collapsed on. We'll
At this
see what
point
they
in
decide
time,
to
we
do.
now have that advantage. We need to play smart here. Play the time. Especially since now that we know, and especially with Finn's jump peak there, we know that they're still on B long. We can play off of that knowledge.
And that clock is
Does look
slowly
like Extra's
ticking
gonna
down.
push up. Maybe we have this one. Ooh,
They spot each other, nobody goes down, but
and now there's some pressure going up on
30
that
seconds
mid lane.
left.
it looks like they might be trying to rotate, but they're running out of time. If they wanted to go A,
That
they
pressure
need
due
to go.
to Extra really did put a number on that. They only have 20 seconds left, so they kind of have no choice but to play B now.
They need
They
to
need
run
to
out.
lock down B.
At this point, they might be out of time. Extra finds Sylv before going down, but 10 seconds left. They need to plan.
Fight this, fight this.
Ari finds Caitlyn. And that's gonna be numbers, and I don't think the plant is gonna go
Not
down.
enough time.
Point Park
Gong being
cleans
able
it
to
up.
Creep getting in that one. That is a wonderfully played round for Point Park. Delaware getting stuck and just kind of had to just stay and be long there. They didn't really make a play, which eventually allowed, especially Extra with that, I would say, probably the move of that round. Just pushing up and eventually getting that time to get an elimination and putting pressure on that, really scaring Delaware.
And with that, we're back to a tie game. Point Park has 2 ultimates online, whereas Delaware does have that Astra ult to work with. We'll see what they decide to do, and they do pop that Jet ult for this round.
Slowly keeping up on this. There's more of a slower game. This should be a more slower round, especially since both teams have enough to really buy, and this is more of a trade out kind of thing.
And Caitlyn about to walk into those Jet knives.
Oh, gets shot down.
Just an inch off their head.
He's pushing
Gave
up,
him a
maybe being
haircut.
able to hold that, replacing Extra spot.
And they are going to spot these people in mid. This Chamber has lurked all the way up on B.
Chamber might throwing a flash, maybe. Break. Oh,
Ooh,
gets
gets
saved. Oh, saved by Finn. Thank you. Heal yourself. Sexy beast.
In this Chamber, still lurking up by
Does look
B.
like they're going to be pushing up Art now. Creep on and by themselves on the site. Maybe get one. That's one. Get
That's
two.
2. Gets 2 before going down. Point
A
Park has numbers.
strong lock on the site there. Now left to both Chamber, who is all the way back at their spawn, and Vibe all by themselves. This is enough time for Park to really take over.
But it does seem like they're playing a bit too cautious because they don't know what the
Take that
Chamber.
information, especially with Chamber pulling the ults out. They kind of have no choice but to really take their
Both
time.
teams do have Vice ultimates if they choose to use them.
Yeah.
Ooh, and
I'm
Ari
Ari
takes out
getting-
Jade.
And it's straight off. There you go. Point Park getting that one.
And that's exactly how you need to play it. Play numbers, don't give them clean
Exactly.
1v1s.
Now,
Well played by Point Park to take the lead again.
oh, this you weren't wrong. This is close. This is really close. I see what was going on here. when I
These
was doing my
teams are
numbers.
very evenly matched.
Exactly.
So are the ones in our previous game. These have been very close games.
These both teams are just playing to really take advantage of every little bit of factor that they can get, and especially with Point Park. Right now, we're finding those moments, really taking advantage of it. Sometimes we're losing the hold, but at least we're trading off. Now we're going to start this next round here.
And Sexy Beast and Extra do get spotted on B Link by that KO knife. And this Chamber has just been lurking up B long every single time.
We're gonna see Finn pushing out there. Gonna pull back.
It
does get the
sits down
elimination.
still. Well played. And Kate would walled off by that Vice Wall, so not able to help.
Now, do we notice this? This KO's by themselves on B, clearing out halls right now. Be afraid. Oh no! Getting
Completely
elimination
caught
on
off
an unknowing Extra.
That was well played by the KO, just lurking that
lurking
far up.
through. And I imagine Point Park expecting literally only just the Chamber pushing that as usual.
And with that, they've opened a hole in Point Park's defense as they're now all storming up to try and take B.
And now they have that control.
Spike is going to go down as they get the plan.
Do, of course, seeing KO Halls really holding down that
Both team Vice ultimates coming out back to back. Nobody has guns right now.
push out now.
Also,
Point
Point Park
Park
doesn't seem to know about the Astra coming from Link. Creep finds one, Caitlyn finds one.
That's
Straight
one.
to both sides.
Oh, just eliminate that one.
And it's just Jade. They have to walk through it. And they get
And there it
sat
is.
down. Point Park
Woo.
takes the round.
And a nearly bad round for Point Park, losing that site, saving it in the end there, I think.
Both Vice ultimates going off at the
Yeah.
same time was very crazy.
It really does pull it to the who's got better mechanic pistols and all that. Okay.
Both teams on full buys. Point Park's economy is in a better spot right now. Delaware likely not being able to full buy next if they lose here.
Yeah. I mean, in a way, this is a crucial round for Point Park. If they can win this one, Delaware is returning back to a basically broke state. So if we can get this round, we almost have a guaranteed another 2 rounds of that.
In theory.
In theory. So let's hope that this round goes really well for us.
And it does look
like a heavy push
yeah,
on A
Delaware
here.
all put up for
Fall back.
Point Park's not ready for it. They're gonna concede the site and try and play retake. Looks a bit. They force Chamber to keep you out in mid. But he finds Sexy Beast. And he finds Extra. Two numbers
no, that's
heavily
2
in
out.
favor.
Think logically here. Point Park pushing back in the secret. You get 1 at least. Haven't.
Numbers are down, the spike is down. Point Park's running out of time to make
KO
it happen.
peeking out,
Creep
almost
goes
getting
down.
that one. It's just left to Finn and Ari maybe being able to get a pick or 2.
The best option now is just
Finn getting 1.
Finn gets his, and at that point they have
And
to
KO
leave.
sneaking up, maybe getting in that. Unfortunately, Finn getting eliminated by the sneaky.
And Ari
KO.
is just gonna save, keep that gun alive.
Fortunate moment for Point Park there. Delaware going to be able to pull themselves back from the depths of, well, poverty. So here we are now, back to another round. You'll be seeing what's going to happen this time. I think what we noticed that round, at least, we weren't expecting a really heavy push up A, were we?
They would call
Like the
very
past
off
couple rounds has been all focused on slowly making their way up and figuring out the proper route to go for, which allowed Point Park to take those picks and get that man advantage.
And it looks like Delaware's going back to a default here.
Right.
Spread out, leaving spawn and spike. Spike in spawn.
Spawn and spike. Extra. Oh no!
Extra's gone down immediately at the start of these past couple rounds.
Right.
That's been a big blow to Point Park.
As
Now,
he's kind of stuck in this area. We're gonna have to do something about it. Maybe some assistance. Does get 1 before getting eliminated. Ari getting another.
Numbers in Delaware's favor, but Ari finds
Getting
2.
another. Now it's on tie.
Numbers evened up. Point Park, 1 on each side.
Astra having control over B.
And it looks like they're just going to pick up that spike
Does
and run
look
all
like
the way
Point
there.
Park's going to assume that it might be, or at least locking down mid and A site.
Point Park does have Beidol online for this retake, though. They just need to stay alive. They can't die this quickly. But it looks like it might be about to happen.
Especially, they need to really play with each other on this one.
But Finn is walking up,
Maybe being able to get 1 pick. Does get 1.
and that's huge.
That stops him. Does get the
Ooh,
trade off.
taken out, though.
It's left to 1-on-1. Ari versus Jade.
And Ari coming around through Link.
Throwing that down.
Spike planted.
We'll see what he can do. And
Beautiful.
it looks like this Vice gonna elect to play Heaven. Probably smart. Great place to stall for time.
Truly. And of course using the ult to stop that one. Unfortunately not just fair for it because it just missed it. Ari's gonna peek.
And she doesn't have info, but I
Oh.
think she has the read.
And that chance. Oh no, getting to no!
Just waited. Or didn't wait quite long
Notice
enough.
that timing. Basically neither of them saw each other for the longest time. Where basically they were just right there in the open.
And we're back to an even game.
Ah. That's painful to see.
These
Honest.
teams are just so evenly matched.
I know. I think a big thing. I think the falling point on that one is just Ari and Finn were just way too far apart, so they weren't really able to play with off each other.
Yeah, they didn't play together. They both just took
Exactly.
separate
After that
1v1.
initial elimination on B side, it probably was best to pull back and wait a minute and play that take together. Creep getting an
Ooh.
elimination, a nice quick one, almost getting another one.
But Sil finds Extra again. I feel like Extra's just been doing the same thing over and over and keeps dying a bit.
Does mean they lose sight on A.
And the plant is going to come down. Point Park forced to retake. They are down numbers, and they don't have any ultimates to work with.
Maybe find some pick here. Just used a dog to clear out the site a little bit. Oh no, do they notice? Please notice the Vice! Notice the Vice!
And
Ah.
Jade finds 2 before going down. It's Sexy Beast in a
Oh, that's
1v3.
so painful. Beast. We're gonna have to play this.
And this round should be won for Delaware.
There he goes. That does make Delaware in the lead this time, pulling themselves back up. It's this consistency that we're seeing here.
I
And
think this game, Extra has just died too quickly. We haven't been able to get any
maybe
value.
pull back a little
Yeah.
bit,
At
slow
this
your
point-
roll, because obviously what we know, as we know, Delaware is either going to be playing this very divided, slow play, making sure they can see a pick, and they have been finding these picks against Extras especially. And then sometimes they'll push really heavy, but the thing is, a consistent outlier here is Extras getting eliminated at the beginning, which does make it harder for Point Park to retake
It
for anything.
does look like she's changed her position here, as Point Park has 3 players stacked towards B. Not towards B, towards mid.
A little goofy fail in the dog there. Does redeem that one, taking not some knowledge that
And Finn
Creep is in there.
might be about to run into Chamber on his B side. Forces Chamber to back off due to triggering that util.
You have some good people over mid. Sexy Beast pulling out, trading.
Goes 1 for 1 there. Extra coming over to make sure they don't push up into that space. Ooh, and
Ooh,
Creep
and a
finds
nice-
Caitlyn on A main.
Hold this down now. You got the man advantage. You know what their plan is at least. You know that they're mid.
Just played together. Don't give them
Exactly.
ones.
Where are you going to move next? That's the plan. That's the idea.
But they're still playing very spread out, Point Park. All of them not in a position to cover each other at all. And Extra about to get
Extra
pushed by
getting
all 3.
caught up by themselves. They're going to have to peek out. Maybe getting one. Does
Get
get one.
one.
Nearly
Force
getting
the
2.
two.
It survives
No.
that brawl. Gonna have to hide here for a second. Gong,
Barely not able to reload in time. Gets taken out, but numbers in Point Park's favor. But
gonna be pushing
they're
up
slow on
B.
the rotate over.
Finn pushed up long. What are we gonna see here? Maybe Finn holding that one really strong. But little did he know, both of them are actually on site.
They're right around the corner from each other, and they have no idea. But Finn,
I think Finn
in a
finally
great
realized
position to
that
just
one.
walk
Yes.
around.
No, getting one on creep. Ari pulling up on the, pulling down. Maybe getting one.
Gets spotted through the wall. Finn needs to make something happen. He's in a good spot, but he's playing so slow. He gets spotted by Sil.
Does hide. Ari peeking out, getting one.
Gets
Just
taken out.
traded out.
Point Park out of time. They
Finn.
tap spike. The flash hits, but they've played too slow. They need to get the kill now, and Sil with the 3K to close out the round. I feel like that one, the issue was Finn just played too slowly.
I
They had a
think-
pincer and they didn't take it.
And I think the other thing is should have been realized pretty quickly that both of them were on site already. They knew that they were pushing down B Link, and they saw that occur. So they should have known that both of the last 2 players were coming through Link. So
Yeah,
Finn,
there's just no reason to be holding that
yeah, so
angle anymore.
unfortunately,
But
it was not
it's
really
still a
an
close game as we head towards the end of this half. Point
Okay,
Park
switch.
very spread out as Delaware looks to be hitting 4-man towards B.
Of course, Chamber is actually on A side. Might be able to find a pick going against Creep here. Teleport. Peek out.
No.
Does get the elimination on Creep. Oh, the man
unfortunate.
advantage
The
is
map
on
is cracked
down,
wide
and of
open.
course in Delaware getting pushed deep. We took the site. We're gonna see what Point Park does. Maybe be able to get a pick or 2 before they leave.
It seems
Gonna
like
play
they're backing
retake.
off and waiting for
Sexy
Park.
B stuck.
Find
Oh,
one,
whiffs.
take it out, and they might be able to go and res that KO. Alright, finds
Oh.
Silk though before Finn takes out Shelp, and Jade does res, or not Jade, KO.
Extra trying to get that quick one. Getting stuck in the molly.
And
Oh
with
no.
that, it's gonna be Ari in a 1v4.
Ari 1v4. Oh my god. It's almost like they're pinpointing her.
And with that, they're gonna be forced off the ankle. Looks like Ari's electing to save at this point. Just unfortunate. It feels like these past couple rounds, Point Park's just been getting picked apart. We'll see if they can
Imagine
turn things around on offense.
Oh, there might be an instance here Look at mid here.
Just out of
Ari.
time.
It does not seem like that was going to happen. But the big thing I'm seeing is that we're losing people too fast. And it's crucial right now, especially with how Delaware plays. They play slow until they have that man advantage. And once they get that, they start going aggressive. They start pushing hard. And that's really what's hurting Point Park is
And
that
Point
they're
Park
losing.
hasn't been able to react to it yet.
Exactly. They need to, maybe in a best way, play more passively. Don't peek out, and
They
just
also just
play.
haven't been playing together though.
That is true. That is true. There's not really many trades going on suddenly.
If
Maybe.
Jade takes out Sexy Beast, getting traded out. Extra finally able
Getting
to
one
find
extra.
him.
Pulling back now.
But Gong finds Creep yet again on A side. And now Point
Chamber
Park
playing.
down numbers. 2 ultimates are in play. 2 more get to the top.
Ari getting Astra.
And that's
Alright.
going to even up numbers. Point Park very spread out still though.
Ah.
Extra about to encounter.
Oh,
They win. Ooh.
no!
I feel like we've seen that exact
That thing
scenario.
has happened so many times. It's almost as if that Delaware understands that that's where Extra is going to be standing at.
I feel like they just have their number because that exact play has happened so many times.
Exactly. They understand that's where Extra is going to be sitting with
Finn
that
might
ult.
be about, Ari might be about to catch Caitlyn if they keep going here. We'll see.
Careful, don't.
The timing?
The timing, nearly throws the molly. Oh no!
And somehow neither of them die there. What an encounter.
Already taking essentially most of the damage on that one.
And Spike is going
Oh.
to be down on A site here.
We do have Chamber holding really aggressively. Does get eliminated by Finn. This is an opportune time.
The Vice Ult does come out. Both of them managed to dodge it then. Point Park running out of time to do it.
Don't really have the opportunity here. I think they might be playing off of that flash. There it goes.
So much util
Getting
coming
one, it's
out.
half. Finn having to blink a play. That's one. It's half, so it's possible. Gets that one. Oh
Haunt
no! The
comes out.
Haunt takes
Yeah,
that out. Ah.
Point Park is going to be going into this half down 4. It's winnable, but they need to make some changes.
They really do. And it's just all down to how they really play that starting round. At the beginning of the round, it just goes downhill after that one mistake that occurs. So the biggest thing, we really need to lock down where we're peaking, what we're planning to do. We need to understand what they plan to do.
And they
Because-
need to focus on trading each other out.
Exactly.
We can't have these unanswered trades.
Exactly. It's important to be able to split yourself in these areas so you have control over the whole area that you're given. But it's also really important that if you're going to be holding down this lane, an area, you got to know if you can actually get that elimination or not. Because if you don't, it's really bad for your team. And now we're going to see exactly what's going to happen this time. Again, Delaware sometimes splitting, being slow, and then sometimes really pushing on a site here.
But now Point Park on offense. Looks like they have 3 players over by B. The
And
other
I think
may
this
going
could be the
B-Link.
potential of an aggressive play this time from Point Park. We're going to be playing aggressively, wrapping her around into the enemy
Pushing up
spawn.
Link very fast and Creep finds Jade caught off guard by that speed. Caitlyn able to find Extra but getting run down with low health. And Finn sits him down, avenges Extra.
Finn plants it. It's a crucial thing. I just remembered we're actually switch sides. Maybe that's why they're actually on. That's why they're at spawn, because it's their site.
2 picks come out and Point Park's down numbers all of a sudden.
Plant is
Creep finds one, Sexy Beast goes down, 1v2, can Creep pull it off? Ooh, but just gets taken out, wasn't prepared. And with that, Point Park is going to lose the pistol. Delaware now in a great spot to close the question.
Oh no.
It would be very tragic if both Valorant teams lose their undefeated streak. It's on, right now it's on gold to carry the flame for green.
Please. That is very much true. Our loss is on your hands now. We need to see something different. We really need to see, especially now, some more morale, maybe some sort of change in idea, especially right now. We're seeing Point Park now attacking. We're going to see their actual plans here, especially with maybe pushing B. Or no, actually, this is defense. Alright.
And now
So,
Point Park, very spread out, maybe trying to get some picks with their pistols. Not typically what you
We
see
do
on
have
buy
some-
rounds. On save rounds, I mean.
so we do.
Caitlyn finds first blood on Creep, picks him off because, I mean, that's kind of what you get when you peek a sniper with a classic.
That is true. There you go. And now, we do have control over a mid, so it is smart to maybe be able to rotate through that. But we don't have control over the side that it seems like Point Park is planning to go for. And oh no! And a small little fight between Chamber and Park.
And
Unfortunately,
still
Chamber
walks
getting
up
another
catches-
one.
And now Point Park 2v5 with pistols. Not really much you can do in this situation unless you play.
They are
incredible.
spotted. They are known. They know where they are. Sorry, K. Oh, pushing up B side.
And they spot extra in that small
They
side.
pull around. Oh no! Please realize! Please realize!
They're getting
over
wrapped
there.
around
No!
all angles.
Oh my goodness! And that is quick snipe on. And
And
extra getting eliminated
taken
on
out.
that
Caitlyn
one.
with the 3K.
410.
And with that, Delaware's off to a commanding start in this half. It's only 3 more rounds and they can close it out.
Point Park, please. This is
This
now.
is just a case where the momentum is so heavily in one
Exactly.
team's favor.
Both of them played really hard in the last match, and it was really close. I think really right now Park is at this like mental state that's just really hurting them right
And
now.
the momentum is so far in Delaware's favor as they just got like 6 rounds in a row. It's really hard to come back from that situation,
truly
but it is doable. Let's see if Point Park can pull it off.
Okay, come on. We are it looks like we're doing a heavy push up A here.
It doesn't look like Delaware is ready.
Nobody's actually, yeah, exactly. Nobody's actually there except the Astra. Might be getting a pick here. They know
Does
that they
back
have the
off.
site. They are gonna get sandwiched here, coming from every. Oh, never mind.
Ooh, and that vice wall does discourage those members of Delaware from
Exactly.
taking the flank. Extra and Gong about to run into each other. Let's see what happens here. The Astro wall comes up from 3.
Good.
Oh, caught at a bad time. Gets one.
Peek out. That's one.
That's 2 down. Numbers in
Chamber.
Delaware's favor. Creep
Creep
ties
getting
it
it.
up.
No.
Caitlyn
KO
has
getting
been
that one.
deadly with that outlaw.
Oh no! And suddenly, how does it happen? Point Park is at the low. They get an elimination, and Delaware gets the next round. That's
And with
4,
that, Point
10,
Park
11.
in a very tough spot.
Oh no! Genuinely, that was a painful round. We got control over this site, and it was looking great. We even had Astra's ult to block out both Art and Flowers, but somehow, suddenly, we just lost it all
It
because
felt
it's
like there was a lack of coordination in that
I
hole.
know, and maybe also placement of players, especially because like they were spread into on the site. They were holding their angles, but just they lost their gunfights.
And now Point Park's economy in shambles as they try to prevent Delaware from going up to game point.
A heavy push up mid from Point Park here, going through going through Art, clearing out behind the box. Flash out, trying to push out into A site. There is a chamber on A main, so you have to be
Does
careful
find
there.
Jade. It's 1-for-1 on different parts of the map. But Shell finds Sexy Beast numbers in Delaware.
Timing! Oh,
And Ari
and
catches
now
Shell.
a
Tied up.
3v3. Chambers playing up, down main!
But it seems like
Just
Point
looked
Park
like
is
you
rotating
had
through
that
defender
knowledge
spawn.
and started rotating out.
Jade finds Gong, Ari finds Caitlyn in numbers in Point Park's favor, and they have an open B
Left.
site.
There you go. Point Park getting at least another round. Leaving Chamber behind. They're going to
There should be no way they lose this round.
Exactly.
But they've spent so long not planting that it's given Chamber a free chance to rotate over.
Exactly. The Chamber obviously not really knowing exactly where they are. They're going to have to take this slow.
And also Point Park playing dangerously long angles for the fact that Chamber has an op.
It's true. But then again, we also, it's the understanding that
Just swing.
where he's going to be at don't really know.
If you peek him, do it together, but not
Exactly.
together enough to get collided.
That's very much true. Now we're seeing him push up a little.
And they do know where he is from that jump.
Trying to get one.
He runs out,
He
takes
gets
out
one.
Ollie, and
Oh.
gets taken out by Finn from the other side. Point Park holds on.
It does trade that out, and that does make at least Point Park get one round before this could possibly be over. Don't let that sit. Don't let that discourage you, though. Point Park doesn't give up. Keep going.
And with that, Point Park's economy is at least a little bit stabilized.
Exactly.
It's still in the favor of Delaware, but they can afford a full buy here.
Actually, would you really say that?
I'd say close enough.
It's more of a tie on the economy right now, especially with the hefty win that we just got there. I think that was actually ridiculous.
It was, but Delaware can buy next round. Point Park can only buy if they win. With that second seed and Finn swing together, take out Shell, force out that chamber TP. Well played. That's what happens when you coordinate.
And that does make us have the advantage here. Gotta figure out exactly where we're gonna go. We are still split up here.
It is KO alone on this site. And Astra
Yes.
right around the corner, creeping all the way up. We'll see if he expects this though.
We haven't committed to a site yet. We're just playing it slow, trying to understand where exactly they're gonna play at.
Ari is on the way over with the spike though.
I think
to
we
B.
know though that it's gonna be B. Hopefully that we notice the KO just standing there. Everyone else on Delaware's team is on A, so this is a prime opportunity.
And they're very far back too, all the way. in
Look at what's
front.
happening right now. It's giving Point Park the opportunity to push up.
And the fade off comes
Fade
out
off
with that.
goes
They're gonna
out.
storm onto site.
And push up. KO's all by themselves. Does get pick on one,
That was a
and that gives
beautiful
enough time
shot.
for Delaware to start pushing up.
Ooh, Finn
Gets
caught
another
on
one.
the flank.
Oh, it treats out.
Double kill before getting traded.
Delaware with one left, going to. Oh, what is this? It's a 1v1 extra.
Extra closes it out. That round. That round was a heart attack.
Very close. I don't know if I could say that I liked how that round played out.
I
That was
felt
way
like
too
Point
close
Park
for my.
It was way
comfort.
too slow on the site hit, but it worked out, so I can't hate too much.
That is true. And I think on top of that, it was just really great shots from the KO, getting eliminations on the one that was holding on the spike, and on top of that, also eliminating another one before getting killed. But that was still a crazy advantage that they had.
This KO has played incredibly these past couple rounds. Also,
Yeah.
I know we're 17 rounds into the game, but I did only just notice that Delaware isn't running a duelist. But their chamber is basically a duelist. Top fragging, absolutely popping off.
That is true. They are playing pretty well that aggression.
And
it-
Creep might be about to run into Sylv. We'll see who wins this. The top players on both teams.
But also realize that with that disadvantage of not having a duelist, that does make their defense a lot stronger since their focus is with that one.
Their defense has been very good. The Astra and Visor do come out as Point Park explodes onto A.
Okay.
Somehow nobody dies there, but Creep protects Sylv.
Astra!
And
Astra plays this spot every time. We need to know that this happens. Please!
in the same
Astra
position
playing
every
backside
time.
again. What's the next move here?
Spike down. Point Park has numbers. Never mind.
Ah.
Jade takes out Extra.
Please! What is happening?
It is planted in a good
Oh no,
spot,
and look,
but they
notice
aren't
that
ready for the flank.
the KO going with the flank does get eliminated, traded
Creep
out.
with the 3K. Time is
Oh my
ticking
goodness.
away. Creep with a 4K. Can he get the ace? They are
And it's
on
left
Spike.
with one.
Ooh, and the stun comes out and the
Just
pull.
on the pool, the Gary goes. Basically eliminated there. There you go.
Use the ace.
Oh, keeping that close. Point Park, knock on wood, we're slowly climbing our way back up to a very
Point Park getting a little bit of momentum here.
closing that gap, especially with that. But it just seems like we're getting more strategic. Also, we're kind of getting more lucky because they play very. Sorry, I lost exactly the word I was looking for. They play almost the same every time, Delaware, especially Astra playing in that cubby every time, and then KO playing this B top area, trying to get a couple picks. It's the same plan.
I can't
And
believe Creeps.
Ooh,
Ooh,
60B's
somehow
getting the
60B's
elimination on that
survives
one.
that.
A great flick. Does
Well
look like
played,
they're
and with
going to
that,
be
Point Park's
pushing
gonna-
up a little bit on B, but they're slowing down because it does seem like Delaware is going to
Nah,
have
they're
to
just waiting
nope,
for you
actually,
to they explode out
exactly.
on
Here
this
we
side.
go.
And Sexy Beast finds a second before. Ooh,
Oh
two
my
kills
God.
coming out by Shell.
Jay getting another.
Sorry.
Oh no, and suddenly we have a disadvantage on players.
And the spike is down on site. You're suddenly in a bad spot.
Creep
if you're
and
Point Park.
Sexy Beast remaining when we don't have the spike. We need to be able to collect that. We don't have any ults. We don't have much, but we have to figure something out. We
You
do have
the
some
fact
time.
Shelb is one shot.
It's very much true. We do have 2 ults on the enemy team if it's required. We do have smokes, thankfully, because Creep is still alive, so we might be able to pull something off here.
The Astra stun comes out on Shell, but they don't do anything with
30
it.
seconds left.
They're just playing very slow, trying to maybe see if Delaware makes a mistake, maybe.
Exactly. Scare them enough.
and
And then gets one Creep. 60B's getting caught out of nowhere, and also, unfortunately, Creep. That does make it a 12, a match point.
And with that, Point Park is in a do-or-die situation.
They really
Can they hold on? Can they make the comeback?
play this very, very strong.
All they need is 5 in a row.
All they need is 5 in a row.
It's easy, just
Remember
click.
when we say that? When Point Park suddenly stomps Delaware and brings themselves up and over.
All they need to do is click on 25 heads.
That's so true. 25 heads, and there you go. Point Park wins. Look at that. Okay, math wizard, all right.
And it does look like Point Park maybe going mid to A here. They're very spread out.
I'm
but only
hoping
towards
that none of
inside.
Point Park gets caught up on the chamber holding that with a shotgun. Does push out. Creep
But
might
Creep
be
does
finding
know.
that one. Does get elimination on this chamber.
And Point Park has numbers. Just play for those numbers.
Here's our advantage. Delaware split half and half to cover both sites. It looks like Point Park's gonna check up on A a little bit, but also splitting B. I'm not exactly sure what the idea is.
It does look like they might be rotating over to fully
Does
hit
seem
B.
like that, and does look like
And
Delaware
they're
caught
about to run
on.
into Shell, but she hears it and backs off.
You want to fight it?
And she might be about to run into Extra with
And there
those
goes
Jet
an
knives.
ult.
Does Extra know? He does.
Extra does get the elimination on that one. Now we're pushing up on the site.
Dom
Astra getting an
finds
elimination,
Sexy
playing in a hall. Oh, no!
Extra gets caught in the crossfire. Finn finds Gong though, and
have-
that ult comes out.
We lose our spike. We need to play this.
They're able to pick it up back though, and the Vice ult comes
There's the
out
wall.
from Delaware,
Goes.
but they're playing a bit too slow to capitalize on the Vice ult.
Ari does have the spike, so can place it down.
She has to. She's running out of time,
She has to now. This is the moment. Creep does get the elimination on that one.
and the plant goes out. This is good
This
for
is
Point
good.
Park. Caitlyn alone, and they should know where she is.
Exactly. They just need to make sure they play together on this one.
And Creep about to get some damage.
Just get
Ooh,
one. Do
and a
not.
nice shot on Finn.
Gets another one. Woo!
And it's Creep
No,
alone in
Creep
the post
alone.
player.
Oh no. No!
In Caitlyn with the 1v3 to seal the
That
game.
was a strong play from Creep. Oh no.
That was incredible
Wow.
from Caitlyn. Clutched up to end that
There
game.
it goes.
That was insane.
That is a tough match for Point Park Gold.
And
That
with
was
that,
hard.
Delaware's gonna claim the win. Point Park, both Valorant teams take their first losses of the season.
Well,
Unfortunate.
we've come from the same party. We're all here together. I think the biggest thing to really collect from tonight is that something mentally wasn't there. We were talking about it. It just felt off. And I think that feeling, that eeriness, was really affecting our gameplay.
I
We
think
weren't
that
playing.
makes sense.
We weren't playing together as much as we should be. The trades weren't as strong. Our utility usage, we were getting killed almost immediately. It was just one thing after the other,
Point Park clearly showed they could win.
Exactly.
It was Delaware's night. It wasn't ours. It is what it is.
It is.
And with that, that's going to be the end of our games for the night. Both Valorant teams take a loss, unfortunately.
Thank you so much for watching. This is the
Signing off.
esports team